We are live, episode 258. We are live with brand new microphones and arms and wires and everything, thanks to Pioneer Fit, General Leather Craft, pioneerfit.com. Matt Hayden, all your belts, bats, hats, spring training belts. He's going in the MLB now, slinging belts, powerlifting belts as always. He's always supported all of you guys, so you guys need to support him, and he's a huge supporter of this show. So thanks for all the new gear. We're just probably fumbling through trying to get this thing set up correctly, but these new mics are awesome. So thank you, Matt at Pioneer.
Matt at Pioneer Fit, thank you.
Yeah, these things are
nice. Been sponsoring us forever.
Yep, that's why we have all this stuff. Every single thing in both of our podcast rooms were purchased from Pioneer Fit.
Did we say we are live?
Yeah, it's the first thing I said.
We are live. Is this new mic loud? Can you hear me, Callis?
It's better. It's better than, because sometimes when you you act like yourself, and it gets really loud. Like sometimes it breaks it a little, but it seems like it's, you know what I mean. It stops that.
God, it's warm out here. It looks 40 degrees in the barn.
It looks warm with the fire in the background.
That fire is. You got to see the other fire in the back, the real fire.
Oh yeah,
you see back there.
Oh, bragger.
There it is. There, the wood burning stove.
Yep.
Wood burning stove is working overtime tonight.
Yeah.
Let's just get him on. Let's go.
Let's just get him on, dude.
Let's get him on.
Hardcore closer, dude. Huge fan. Get him on.
Ryan Stewman.
See, now that's a garage a motherfucker can have a beer in. You know what I mean?
Damn right.
That is garage beer central right there, dude. So,
oh hell yeah! I'm actually drinking Tito's right now. Tito's and Mountain Dew.
Yeah, dude, that is like a trailer park favorite down here.
Yes, it is, and that's why I love it, brother.
I saw an Instagram reel today, and the guy's like, he grew up drinking like a 12-pack of Mountain Dew instead of formula. The guy's got Hulk strength. I mean, he can deadlift 800 pounds now, and he's only 14, dude. It's fucking hilarious.
That was me. That's Huck Finn Barbell, brother.
One of your offspring, maybe.
Mm-hmm. God damn, this mic sounds loud. How do you turn it down?
Well, you just slide your.
I can't give you guys fancy stuff. You know, it's just too much to take in.
I know it. I don't know how to use the. We got brand new mics. We don't know how to fucking use them.
These are brand new. We just got these literally. I put mine together like 20 minutes
You just
ago.
put Jacob Ross, our other co-host, just hopped on, brother.
Y'all didn't even give him a mic. That's fucked up.
No, he gets no mic. Yeah, man, he sounds like shit.
I don't get to speak.
Yeah, well, welcome to Let's Get Stupid Podcast.
They're like, here's your contribution to the podcast, sir.
Get your own Apple headphones. Hook them up, buddy.
Yep. I feel the love. It's okay.
He's got
I just got here. I'm sorry. What are we talking about again?
I have no idea. That's why it's called the Let's Get Stupid show. We have no idea what direction we're going or anything.
All right. I love it. My kind of people.
But you know me, Huck Finn Barbell. My co-host is Tom Callis in the upper corner there.
Nice, Mike.
Nice to meet you, Tom.
Nice to meet you, Ryan.
We've been doing this podcast for since what, 5 years almost?
Almost nice. 5 years. About a year and a half ago, Jacob started coming on, the guy in the lime green.
Jacob Ross,
yeah.
Nice to meet you, Jake.
Nice to meet you.
Jacob. Jake or Jacob?
What do you think?
I heard them say Jacob last time, so I would assume you go by Jacob. But I thought I heard him say Jake the first time. So
hey, he's from Texas.
I want to get it correct.
Yeah, he is a Texas guy. You guys have something in common.
He's from fucking Pig's Knuckle, Texas.
Awesome. I've been there. That's great.
You've been to Pittsburgh, Texas?
No, he said Pig's Knuckle, but yes, I've been to Pittsburgh too.
Wow, that's pretty impressive, actually.
I've lived here my whole life, man. So, and I grew up poor, and so in Texas, when you grow up poor, you don't leave the state. So you just travel to like, hey, we're going to Pittsburgh and you think you're going to like a whole new state and stuff. You're like, man, Pennsylvania, maybe I can see where like maybe Benjamin Franklin was, and they're like, no, it's just outside of fucking Austin. You're like, oh great, well, that's cool too,
Yep.
So
yeah, when I moved here, that was the third flight of my entire life. I was 23.
Yeah, dude, I was probably about that age before I left this state too. So you grew up here? Oh, you already know then. Yeah, it's fucking huge, To get from most people just don't even have it to. I live in Dallas, and to get to El Paso from here, it's closer to get to LA from El Paso than it is from here to El Paso. It's a crazy huge state. So,
I love this guy's got many leather bound books.
Look at all those books. He can give those books to a lot of waitresses.
Got to smell like rich mahogany in there.
There's a great story behind these books.
Yeah, how'd you get all those books?
Well, so in 2004, I went to like church for the first time ever. A stripper took me to church. My life was in such fucking shambles.
This guy's got some good stories.
Just strippers like, dude, listen, I know it's Saturday night and we're doing fucked up shit, but tomorrow you're going to have to come with me like this. We're going to have to repent, right? So I go to church, stripper takes me to church, and I, for the first time ever, I liked the preacher. He's still a friend of mine 21 years later. And anyway, he got me into reading books like Think and Grow Rich and stuff like that.
Napoleon Hill.
3 years later, I end up getting married to someone else, obviously not the stripper, but 3 years later, I end up getting married, and I end up going to federal prison for a firearms charge. And it's a cool story, but a long story. And so I have to go do 15 months in federal prison. And when I go to, they give me 60 days to get my affairs in order, right? And so I got 60 days to go turn myself in from the time they gave me my sentencing. In the federal system, at least for me, it worked that they convicted me. Then I went back and got sentenced. And when I got sentenced, they told me when I would go to turn myself into prison. It's not that way for everybody, but it was for me in this instance. So during those 60 days, I got time to pack all my shit up. So I put all of these books, most of them that you see on the shelves, in boxes that I had read over the last 3 or 4 years, and probably about half of these books, and couches, all my stuff with my wife. And I sent her to go move in with my parents so that, in case something happened with the bills, everything was covered. And about 3 months into my prison sentence, I get a Dear John letter. She's banging the fucking, I own 32. I walked in prison a millionaire. I own 32 homes that are rent properties, like shithole rent properties. And I had this maintenance guy or lawn care guy that mowed all the homes. She ends up leaving me while I'm in prison for the landscape guy.
You don't mow another man's lawn.
Fucking snake in the grass, right?
Shit.
And so needless to say, I have many more yards to mow now, and he's not our guy. But anyway, so when I get out, she's literally left me with nothing, but I've got a trunk, and inside it's like a trunk, and she had put those books inside that trunk. The weird thing is I'd had this little trunk. I still have it in my garage now since I was like 8 years old. It's one of those things that like you have your whole life. You're like, how the fuck is this thing still here?
Yeah.
I've been through 3 divorces, 2 terms in prison, and homelessness, and I still have this fucking trunk since I was 7 years old. Like what? It's like the traveling pants of fucking Stewman or some shit. I don't know. But anyway, but these books were in there. And I always tell people, you know why she took everything that was worth money and gave me the books? Because dumb people don't read. And the truth is all the money that I've made since then has come from the knowledge of these books. So that's awesome. That's the cool story behind my many leather-bound books back there.
So I met you first in 2018, I think. I was got invited out to Icon Meals. Todd flew me out. They had a big thing out there, and they had a couple speakers, right? And I didn't know anything. I'm an idiot, right? So I go there. I come in. I have a case of beer and a cooler. I have some pretty shitty clothes on. People are dressed up. Most people are writing notes. I'm not. I'm looking around. I feel out of place. Big boy sits next to me from the Shrimp Cartel. And he takes a beer, so I felt a little better. Me and Big Boy, that's the first time I met him. Some guy talks, could care less. I didn't give a fuck what he said. You come up. Your story was fucking – I remember how you started. You said something like, has anybody in this room been to prison? I raised my hand, and Big Boy raised his hand. That was it. And I said, well, I'm a prison guard. And you said, well, we hated you, or something like that, right? And you told the story about, you going to prison and then how you got out of it and how you did everything else. But the way you talked, it was way better than anybody else. Like, you definitely felt like a guy I would talk to. The other guys, I wouldn't talk to at all. The guy like you, I
want to be a
I'd
guy you drink a beer with.
100%.
Exactly.
That's what I just said. Yeah. Perfect.
I'm just that's all I just want to be like. I was talking with this branding. I run several businesses, and so I have to deal with the corporate suits types every now and then. And I'm talking to them today, and they're like, well, what is the image you're trying to put on the internet? I was like, it's not that I'm trying to put an image out there. I just want people to be like, that's a dude I'd have a beer with, or I bet he's got good stories if we're sitting around a campfire somewhere, type of shit, So
well, we're on a campfire right now. I got the campfire.
That's right. I can see it in the background. It's right there. It looks real.
Fires going.
I know. Multiple fires going. My God. No, but you definitely were the best. Yeah, that event actually was, and I wish I would have paid attention more thinking back on it. But you were the only guy I followed out of that whatever class or whatever they gave us. You were the only guy I reached out to and looked up. Was like, I got to follow this motherfucker.
I appreciate that, man. We have stayed in touch for quite a while, man. Same with Todd. I see him pretty regularly. Well, when you're busy, you don't really see people, but I talk to him pretty regularly. So Todd's good people, man. It's hard to find and you know what? That room had a lot of great people in it from the fitness industry. Todd really put together a good group of people, everybody but O'Hearn. You can't really trust him, but everybody else in the room.
I know it. That son of a bitch. Yeah, that no, that was a different event they flew us out to. I thought it was the same one where he hit me in the head with a chair and I drank like 70 beers. But that was down the road the following year.
Mike's a good time. I've
he's
hung
good
out
dude
with Mike
too.
a few times. He's fun. So
I actually hung out with Todd this summer. I went to Dallas. I did a family 2-week crazy RV trip. See, I was
didn't even holler at me.
I was thinking for some reason you have a farm now in Oklahoma.
I still live in Dallas.
You have a ranch in Oklahoma, but you live in Dallas? Okay, yeah, I didn't know.
He bought the Tiger King's place, I think.
That's what it was.
I'm about 10 miles from that motherfucker.
There's a fucking opportunity right there, man.
That guy's living his best life. He just got engaged in prison.
Yeah, he's in prison still.
He looked like a guy that would sniff one out anywhere that he goes. You know what I mean?
100%.
That dude's a predator. Like those cats.
Yeah. He wanted to be famous his whole fucking life, and then he becomes famous and he's in prison. And
somebody operates his Instagram handle, so I see him comment crazy shit trying to come bail me out. I see him on President Trump's posts all the time.
I've seen that stuff.
Trying to get pardoned or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. So I live in Frisco, Texas, which is a suburb of Dallas, big city.
Right by Icon Meals. That's where they're at.
Yeah, exactly. And then my ranch is in Ardmore, Oklahoma, which is 100 miles from here. So it's about an hour and 10, 15 minutes because it's just a straight shot down a freeway to get there. So we've got, so I own 400 acres, but I control 800 through leases and agreements with neighbors and shit like that. So I'm basically the guy that's in control of almost 1,000 acres down there. So we raise cattle, pecans, and hay on the ranch down there. So during the week, I run my software company and my lending company here in the city. And as soon as I get the fuck out of the city, I go to the country. And, I usually bring people like, you guys got to come out at some point. You'll love it because I don't have I built a rich man's paradise out in the country. I don't have some rugged shit. My place is like a golf course that has cows on it. It is immaculate. We have 12 lakes out there stocked with. We were pulling 25, 30-pound catfish out of one of the lakes just like maybe a month ago. And so we do 5-pound bass all day, every day, big old crappie. And I've got 3 miles of river that run through the property too. And like a huge, big river that's down there in southern Oklahoma that comes off of what the famous thing in the area is called Turner Falls. It's like a tourist destination. So we have that same river. So, man, you guys are welcome to come out there. We shoot hogs. We fucking kill coyotes, dude. We start huge bonfires.
Yeah, definitely. I'll stop now, but by myself or with these guys, not with my family. The family trip, wouldn't have been as much fun with the wife and kids. Nah, fuck that.
But you know what, dude? I have 4 kids. So I've got 12 ATVs. I've got 6 for adults and 6 for kids.
Well, we should have stopped, man.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe
when
next
my kids,
summer.
All my kids have friends. And what sucked over the years was my kids had 4-wheelers. Then they had to share their 4-wheelers with friends. Yeah. And so as my kids have gotten older and they run bigger 4-wheelers, I kept the smaller ones so that when other kids come over and stuff, they can ride 4-wheelers. So it's a very kid-friendly, accommodating place. So
you guys, your backstory is you were like selling drugs or what was going on? And it sent you to prison, right? Because I remember you talking about it.
Yeah. So I've had an interesting life. When I was 7, I was adopted and by my stepdad, and I didn't really our DNA ain't the same, and we didn't mesh. So there was a lot of problems in the house. So by the time I was 13, I was pretty much on the streets, and sleeping I say on the streets, but like sleeping at friends' houses and on their couches and shit like that for years. I left school when I was 15, and and back then we didn't have social media and stuff. Yeah. So all the people that seemed to have money in the neighborhood and area that I lived in sold drugs on the side. So that's what I did. I sold weed and I sold cocaine and occasionally other shit like acid or something if I could get my hands on it. Or, I remember one time I went to the guys I bought weed from, and they gave me like 50 pounds of weed. They're like, no Mexicans want this LSD. You can have it for free. And they gave me like 3,000 hits of acid. So I ran the, famous buy 3 pounds, get a sheet of acid for free sell, and sold all the, I was like that guy.
Guy's a good, that's why he's a good salesman right there.
Yeah.
Hardcore closer.
Uh-huh.
That's right. Yep, so that's where it all began.
Hell yeah.
Now, have you ever sold Let's Get Stupid pre-workout? Because it's just like meth.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, that's what they said. Yeah, that's my supplement, that pre-workout. Yeah, meth head told me he couldn't believe it's not meth. That's how good it was. So
that's a good testimonial. 5
best
stars.
review we've ever had.
Yeah. So by the time I'm 19, I got my own apartment, or by the time I'm 18, I got my own apartment and with a roommate, and I'm working during the day as an electrician's helper. Basically, I'm just pulling the wire, loading the trucks for like $6 an hour. At night, like 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., I was like the hostess person or host or whatever the hell you call it at a Mexican restaurant. So I'm like the greeter fellow when you walk in that got you chips and water. And then I sold weed and coke in the evening time till about midnight. And so I'm working 3 jobs as a teenager trying to get ahead. The fucking cops got in the way, and
cops ruining everything.
You go to corporate world, you store up a 401k, you commit fraud, they wipe your whole bank account out. Turns out they do the same thing in the drug world. They just take your stash. So, here I am, they probably caught me on a Friday they caught me on a Friday after I had sold everything out, but like the last little bit, but they took all the damn money that I had because I had scales and bags. And so, I probably had, I don't know, less than 7 grams of cocaine. And so, but I had a Uzi, but that was a different story. It was legal. It was registered. It was in my name, but it just didn't help the fucking case at all. Right. So, so anyway, I go and they say that, hey, we'll give you 20 years probation. And I'm not 20 years old yet. So I end up working it down. My lawyer, who's a public defender, because like I said, they took my nest egg and I'm working for $5 an hour. So it's not like I'm getting fucking wealthy. And so my lawyer comes to me and he's this public defender and he goes, look, they said they'll give you 2 years in prison. But here's the thing. You're a first time offender. So you're going to be up for parole in 4 months. You're going to do 60 to 90 days inside of here, come up in the county jail, come up for parole. You'll never see the inside of a prison and you'll be home before the end of next year and before the end of the year. And I'm thinking, okay, cool. I'm going to go do 6 months, reset my life, detox from drugs. And, that motherfucker, dude, like 2 weeks later, I'm handcuffed to the biggest human being I've ever seen in my life, butt naked, trying to put on a jumpsuit while he's trying to put it on like we're shoulder wrestling. He's about to pull me on his back. I'm on a bus. We go and spend 12 hours on this bus from the county jail to prison.
Yep.
I get off at the unit that I get off at. The first person they left was this cripple fella in the front. He doesn't have any legs, so he's like in a wheelchair. So I'm thinking, oh, they're just being courteous guards getting the cripple off first, right?
Yeah.
Dude, as soon as he hit the ground, 3 inmates went to kicking the shit out of this fucking guy. And I'm thinking, dude, if they did that to the guy with no legs,
what are they gonna do to me?
Dude, turns out that guy was like drunk driving accident for somebody important's daughter or whatever died in the accident. So those dudes were waiting for him. But I didn't know that, bro. It was like freak the fuck out, right? Then during the 2 years, I spent like 19 months of 24 inside like 6 different prisons because I had to go back on bench warrants to county. So they would transfer me to all these different. Yeah. So like, and if you watch on TV, and it's not that bad, but if you watch on TV, the guy walking down the cell, there's people screaming at him and shit. You know what I mean? The new guy coming into, I had to do that shit like 6 fucking times. And I'm white and I weighed 130 pounds and was 20 years old.
Oh,
right?
God.
So Oh, fuck, man. And I didn't get in a lot of fights because I didn't snitch on anybody.
Yeah.
I wasn't in there for a weird, fucked up crime. I didn't have a drug problem where I was gambling and doing shit. So I kind of minded my own business. Maybe I got 1 or 2 fights, but I wasn't no tough guy shit. I'm not playing that either. You got a life sentence, like, fucking, you want a bag of soup? I don't give a fuck. Take it. Like, I didn't, because it was most of the places I was at was pretty easy. There was 2 places that I was at particularly. There's like, fuck, man, if I didn't have to go eat lunch because I didn't have any money and have to go down that runway, I'm not fucking going, So, but there's only, and I was at both of those places for a short period of time. But anyway, so I get out, I change my life.
Hold on.
Hold on.
With the prison stories, what was your favorite meal to cook in prison? Like in your cell?
I ate the same thing every day.
All kinds of shit.
So, those guys would be making crazy shit, dude. They can pretty much duplicate. Like, these guys have spent so much time in there that they've figured out what the raw ingredients inside the things they sell on commissary versus. So it's interesting.
They can make like anything. It's the weirdest fucking thing ever. They make fucking pizza out of fucking crackers.
Some shit. Yeah,
toilet wine, fucking pizzas out of crackers, burritos, big boys all the time.
Man, I was trying to put on weight because, like I said, I was 130-pound skinny ass dude. So I'm in there trying. So I would eat a bag of tuna fish every evening for dinner. I would try not to go to the chow hall. I'd eat a bag of tuna fish with hot sauce in it and some chips, dude. And I probably ate that 1 or 2 meals a day just to try to stay the fuck out of the chow hall.
How many honey buns you eat?
Not a lot, man, because I didn't have a lot of money. Like the second time later on in life is a little bit different story, but the first time, man, I didn't have no people, no money, no nothing. Yeah. I remember one time, I ain't gonna say no names, but this lady that does, anyway, she's still my friend now, but she came to visit me, and I'm like sending her a letter. I'm like, you got to bring me some meth because I need to get that to be able to. She comes to visit me and like slides the drugs, and she's like, I'm gonna wind up fucking in here with you. I was like, hey, we're already committed now.
Yeah, too late.
But hey, I traded that for the tattoos on my back,
Oh yeah. Holy shit.
That's fucking interesting times. Out of those prisons, 3 of them aren't even open anymore because of like poor conditions and shit like that. I tried to buy one of them 6 years ago. Awesome. Me and 2 of my friends tried to buy one.
Yeah.
There's one in downtown Dallas across the street from the main courthouse that's an actual state jail. And I was there for about a month, and I thought, how cool would it be if I bought that? Yeah, they had it for sale for $5 million, and we were going to try to convert it to self-storage. Problem was the you could buy the building, but someone else owned the land, and so it was the whole parking control thing that we couldn't work out. It fell through. So
what was
that? Would have been dope as fuck though if I'd have bought the prison I was in.
Yeah, that you were at.
Yeah,
that'd have been full circle.
That might be a first.
Yeah,
that's wild. So fast forward, you get out of prison, and then you go to church with a stripper.
Yeah, so I get out of prison, and my stepdad, he's like a manager of a car wash. And so like most people that are prison people, on parole, they go get a job somewhere like a car wash or a job site. In my case, car wash started as a vacuumer for like $6 an hour. And within 2 years, I was running several locations, right? And I think I was running 3 locations. And dude, I would run a car wash where we would wash 1,500 cars in a day. Dude, we were fucking making bank because I knew customer
service. Car wash is a good place to launder money too, though.
Yeah, back then probably, because back then credit cards weren't as prevalent and bank cards aren't like they are now. So, but those guys didn't have to launder it; they were fucking printing it. The dudes that owned it, and they had 5 locations, and on a good day, all 5 of them would do 1,000 cars each. You know what I mean? So you figure that at $20 a car, probably $12 a car on average. It's good money. And so I did that for a long time, but I learned everything, dude. Still today, that's my goal, is eventually to buy a car wash, but I just don't have time to run one right this minute. But man, I know how to take one apart, how to mix the soap, all this. Well, one day this customer that comes in every week, she's probably 55 at the time, and I'm 26. And
you start banging her.
No, it wasn't like that, right? She was, she was not an attractive. She was really cool, but she was not an attractive person. But she was always friendly when I talked to her there. And one day she goes, I've been coming here for 6 months on Wednesday for the discount. You always write me a ticket and sell me the car wash. I usually vacuum my car. A lot of times you're up front. I thought maybe it was me at first, but I start paying attention. You work your ass off here. how much do you make a year? And I'm like, I make, 40 grand, lady. I'm doing really good. I run 3 of these locations. And she goes, how about I could show you how to make that in a month, maybe even a week. And I'm like, oh no, I already
Not
tried
selling drugs again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not selling drugs again. No more cocaine.
And I was like, well, what do you do? She goes, finance. And I was like, oh, I don't know anything about that. I have a 1968 F-250 that I paid $1,000 cash for. I pay money orders for my apartment because I'm a felon and they don't know it's my name. So, right, like all the shit that I'm having to do. And she goes, you know what? And I said, plus I like my job here. And she goes, you should come work for me. I'm telling you, Monday, quit your job here. You can always come back to this car wash. And I said, well, I'm a felon. And she goes, oh, shit, what did you do? And I was like, got caught selling drugs. She goes, what kind of drugs? Like cocaine. She goes, they'll probably love you in the mortgage business. And so she's like, think about it, gives me her phone number, leaves, right? The next day, the owner of the car wash, I ain't seen this dude in 18 months, shows up hungover, pissed off, probably got in a fight with his wife, saying all sorts of crazy shit to me and the workers. And I just handed him the keys and called this lady going, God, I hope she answers. I showed up that Monday, swear to God, the FBI was getting on the elevator with me. And so it was one of those situations where, like, who was going to push the floor we were going to first, right? Because, like, whatever floor they were going to push, I'm going to push a different one, right? I ain't even got this job yet, and fucking feds are raiding this place. But they were actually raiding another mortgage company in the building. I think it was like a sign from God, like, don't screw around while you're in this industry. So I go to work. I start to learn everything. Within 2 or 3 weeks, I made $6,800. Within 6 weeks, I had 30 grand. And I'm like, oh shit, within 19 months, I made $773,000. I own 32 homes. I'm living in a $500,000 house. I'm 26 years old. The police, I'm still in the same damn city I got in trouble before. They think I'm selling drugs because at the first of the month, I've got renters coming by paying rent. We didn't have Zelle and all this wires and ACH shipment. I got renters that live in $40,000 houses driving beat up Altimas and shit coming to pay rent, followed by realtors dropping off contracts because I'm doing mortgages because I'm working from home because I figured out how to log into the server from my home Wi-Fi. So, like, I got all, plus my friends are coming over and we're partying. I'm not having nothing to do with drugs. I'm completely, like, away from all. I'm drinking alcohol, but that's it. But the cops, they think, oh, he's got a lot of traffic. It makes sense. I get it now. I was pretty pissed then, but I get it. So they raid the house. They don't find anything, but they find a Glock with a 17-round clip in it. And back then there was something called the Brady Bill that hadn't been expired yet. And if you had a magazine in a weapon that was in a pistol specifically that was over 10 rounds, it was contraband. It was illegal. And so since Glocks aren't made in Texas, it became a federal fucking crime. This whole bullshit to try and give me 20 years in prison for their mistake to keep me quiet. But I got this lawyer whose office was in downtown Dallas on the corner of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Boulevard. Great part of town. And I can't carry a gun, and I got to go have meetings with this guy, right? And I can't carry a gun. So, but me and him work out a deal where he owns a title company and he'll represent me. He's a high-powered attorney. He'll represent me as an attorney, take minimum money as long as I'm sending him my mortgage business, so he'll close it. So I'm working out a deal with him. We do a ton of business together. One day he calls me to his office and he says, I'm the only white guy in the room, and it's all these prominent black lawyers and politicians that you see on the news all the time and shit in the city of Dallas. And I'm like, cool, what, it's going to be some kick-ass meeting. We're about to take over some shit, right? Well, they had a plan to make my lawyer, Craig Watkins, the district attorney of Dallas County. So they're going to run him. Well, the thing was, though, in the whole state of Texas, there's never been a black person in judicial service at that point, ever in the history of the state. And this was 2006. So up until 2006, the state of Texas never had a black judge, a black DA, any of that shit, right? And there had never been a Democrat in Dallas County that had won. And look, I don't pick sides, dude. This is going to benefit me. It is what it is, right? So we work hard, and the game plan was simple. All the rich white folks on the north side of town live in houses that have acreage. All the poor people that live on the south side of town live in apartment complexes. If we can put buses to the apartment complexes and get them to the polling stations, there's more people south than north, and we'll win. And we did. And he became the first African-American and the first Democrat to like do all that stuff. 2 weeks into office, they're still trying to give me 20 years, right? 2 weeks into office, thank God this bank robbery went down in Dallas, and he caught them. And part of his negotiation to turn them over to the feds was, hey, my boy Stewman, he needs some kind of a plea deal. And they end up plea dealing me to 15 months in federal prison behind the fence. So I didn't go to a damn camp or anything like that. But check this out. I go and I got to do 15 months. And I already told you guys, I got divorced and stuff while I was in there. But about a month into there, I go and I do this interview with like a parole board type of people. They're like intake people. And one of the guys was like, hey, it looks like, we pulled your tax returns and stuff because it's federal. They've got everything from your bank records, everything. He goes, looks like you were doing good out there. What did you do? And told him mortgages. Well, like maybe 2 or 3 days later, the guard that runs that building, he goes, hey, man, let me holler at you. I'm thinking about buying my first house. And what's his name said that you do mortgages. Let me ask you a couple questions if you don't mind. Because you have to understand, like, federal prison's different than state. State's murder, drugs, rape. Federal prison's white collar.
Yeah, federal prison's pretty nice.
Drug dealers. It's way different, right? Yeah. And man, I barely seen an argument in that motherfucker. It was pretty peaceful the whole 15 months I was there. And so the guards are friendly with the inmates in this particular location I was at too. So he hits me up. So I fix him up with my buddy on the outside. He gets a house. His mom ends up getting a house too. And so then word gets around to these like Mexican gangbanger guys. They're like, hey, this guy over here, he knows he's got the guard. Probably the guard was in their back pocket or some shit. But he's like, he got the guard's family alone. Let's talk to him. So one day I'm just chilling in my cell, and this giant Mexican with face tattoos and a mohawk and covered in tattoos. Dude looked like he just like was born serving time. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want to do when you grow up? Prison. Time, right? and he's still in there. He DMs me from Facebook. He's still in there now. He's got a phone, right? So he comes to my cell, and my cellmate, like, I haven't been in there but like maybe a month or two at this point, and my cellmate is like, dude, I don't know what you did with those guys. Don't bring that shit in here. I'm like, oh fuck, what am I into? They're like, hey, we need you to come upstairs. So dumbass me follows these guys upstairs. Apparently upstairs, they're living a different life than I am. We're down here on ramen noodles and tuna. Upstairs, they're like steak. They're wearing Reeboks and Rolexes, smoking blunts. I'm like, what the fuck? I never had a reason to go up there. So I just never went to that other floor. They're living a different life up there. And so anyway, they're like, hey, we heard that you know finance and real estate and stuff. Is that true? And I'm like, yeah. What's going on? And I'm in this little cell with these dudes, and they're like, we have millions of dollars of drug money that we need to fucking clean up, and we're going to get out of here in the next 5 or 6 years. And we want to get the fuck out of the drug game. How can we buy real estate with it? And I'm like, bro, they could put us in jail for this shit, right? We're fucking already there. Like, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I never laundered money before, but if I did, here's what I'd do. I'd go buy the house, I'd refinance it, then it's on a bank loan and it's clean. I'm showing them this shit. Apparently these guys go and do this stuff, right? And for the last 3 months that I'm in prison, I'm running little seminars on how to clean up your drug money and shit in the library. But the good news is, like, I got to eat with those guys. They took care of me. They looked out for me. I had a fucking pretty easy time, besides coming out to only a box and a trunk full of books on the other side. But yeah. But the good news is that was 2008. I went right back into the lending industry. And in 2010, the government once again intervened in my success and created something called the Dodd-Frank Act, which Trump apparently is about to ban, it looks like. The CPFB is about to go away, it looks like. And so anyway, they wouldn't give me mortgage licenses, were state issued, and the CPFB made it go federal. And the feds are like, this motherfucker's on parole. We're not going to give him a license. But I had this idea back in 2008, because in my mortgage business, when my wife left me and I get out and I'm doing mortgages, I'm getting these top producer plaques and I'm posting them on Facebook thinking maybe my ex-wife will see that I'm winning again and that bitch can suck it, right? You know what I mean? But as a byproduct of that, like, people would hit me up and be like, hey, can you do my mortgage? Hey, you're pretty good at mortgages. Will you see if you can pre-approve us? And I started getting leads from Facebook in 2008. I mean, this was right after they released it to the public. So by the time 2010 rolls around and I don't have a ability to do mortgages, I started teaching loan officers how to get leads from Facebook, from social media. at the time, that was the most unheard of, stupidest shit you could have told anybody, because nobody, now we all know you can get rich from, so it's the gold rush is social media. Back then, there wasn't a Gary Vaynerchuk or a Grant Cardone to look up to and learn from them, because nobody was doing this shit.
Like a Wild West.
I've been blazing this trail for 15 years now, man.
Yeah. That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
So you come out of the Fed joint, right? And you have nothing.
Halfway house. Yep. Went to a halfway house.
You go to a halfway house for what, 6 months? You got a job?
Worse than that, bro. 2 weeks. So because you can't live there past your sentence, and I only had 2 weeks left on my sentence. So
you had 2 weeks on your sentence. Okay, I got
I get out, they give me $50 and a bus ride to a halfway house. You know, in the movies, I've gotten released from prison twice, and in the movies, there's always some hot blonde or a cool dude smoking a cigarette. There wasn't nothing fun. There was a Greyhound the first time, and a fucking prison bus the second time. Like,
fucking sack of clothes.
That's a fucking fairy tale. That doesn't happen.
Coming out in your sweatpants and shit.
Yeah, no. They don't give you a suit on the way out either.
No, you got gray sweatpants on and a bag.
The state of Texas gives you free thrift clothes that it's hilarious. They
you
pick
can
ones for you to make you embarrassed when you leave. So
yeah. So you got a TV you bought, a state TV maybe you got to take home with you?
They didn't have those, man. I left crazy shit. So I got out in like November of 2001. So it was right after 9/11. They let a bunch of us out, right? And when I was in federal prison later, the crack law got repealed under Bush before he left. And so I watched all those people go home too, which was kind of cool. But so I get out of, I'm in this halfway house, and I got 2 weeks to find a place to live. I got no money, no girlfriend. I don't want to go live with my parents. Can't stand my parents. I got to figure some shit out, right? But I also don't want to go get a job and have to go through explaining the halfway house shit to my job and all that. I've only got 2 weeks, so I'm just killing time. Well, I go and I apply for this one job, and it's like maybe the last 2 or 3 days I'm going to be in the halfway house, and I apply for this job doing debt settlement. It's 2008, so maybe mortgages are collapsing at this time, and I'm thinking debt settlement's going to be a good job for me. This place is badass. They got Red Bull in the refrigerators, and every cubicle has a TV and a flat screen. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to fucking close everything. I made it through 3 interviews, but on the application, I didn't put that I was a felon. So on Friday, they're like, you're hired. All weekend, I'm like, I'm about to crush it in this new business. I ain't even been out a week. Fucking Monday morning, they call me, and they're like, why did you lie to us? It's like, well, you already know why. And so, fine, I end up getting a job. And 6 months later, I'm working late, and it's late in the evening, like 7, 8 o'clock, and I'm on the job. And I'm go in the room to make copies. And I look up at the news on the TV, like 6 o'clock news or whatever. And the feds were raiding that business that turned me down. They had been doing some sort of fraud shit. And I'm like, man, I know I would have been the top producer. That'd have been my 3rd fucking strike. They would have never believed that I wasn't up to no good.
Yeah, right.
You know? Shit. Like Garth Brooks over here thanking God for unanswered prayers. So
man.
Good times, you know.
Sick.
Good times.
It makes for a hell of a story. I can go talk to a therapist and cry about it, or we can fucking be entertained by it, you know. Pick a struggle.
So where do you go from now, right? So you were a millionaire, right? You're all the houses, you're killing it in the mortgage business, back to prison, out
back to zero.
Now, how do you get back to where you are now? Because obviously you're 10x the successfulness you were. So where, just different ventures? Where'd the money come from? Where'd you go? Like content creation, right? That's kind of where it started back up for you.
Well, yes. So, you know, in 2010, now I'm looking for what the fuck am I going to do with my life? I know how to sell drugs, which I'm terrible at. Clearly, I know how to do mortgages. I can't do that. Washing cars ain't going to pay the bills. So I start looking into things like network marketing and shit like that, because I have this skill set of being able to advertise online. I just need a product to sell, right?
Right.
And the network marketing shit didn't make sense to me, because you had to get so-and-so people here and so-and-so. I just want you to tell me what my split is, and I'll go sell the motherfucker, right? It was too complicated. So I end up teaching loan officers how to generate leads from social media. So my very first event was in 2011. And I had 5 people at the event, and I got each one of them to pay $5,000 to be there, right? So it's $25,000 for the event. Because I have the difference between then and now is, and you can go back, all this shit's on social media if you were bored enough to scroll back, but I have the W-2s that showed that I made, hundreds of thousands. I never cracked $1 million at working for somebody else, but I, deep into 6 figures. And so these guys that are making 150 grand a year, they're like, okay, shit, you're showing me proof. You've shown me a pipeline of $108 million in loans you did in 1 year by yourself without a team. That's fucking unheard of. How did you do this? And I charge them $5 grand because they only got to close 1 or 2 loans. And a lot of these dudes are from Florida, California, and New York, where the average loan amount is $2-3 million. So that, shit, one deal makes them 20, 30 grand. So $5 grand's nothing, right? So I get these 5 guys in there, do a presentation for 2 days, teach them, work with them, get them set up on what we know is social media 101 now, but nobody knew what the hell that shit was back then. And then upsold 3 of them into a $25,000 a year, do with you, build your social media out shit. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing at the time. I'm just like, hey, this seems like it'll work, right? So it's cool. I made 100 grand from this event, and the 25 grand got paid out $2 grand a month over the next 12 months and shit. But ended up making 100 grand from the event, but they don't fucking know anybody else to sell to. So I start running ads on Facebook, and that was working really well. And then I got this idea that I started reaching out to these TV real estate agents, Frederick Eklund, Josh Altman, and Josh Flagg, these guys that are on $1 Million Listing New York. And my idea was we could do like a mastermind thing like I did. If I can make 100 grand, these guys that are fucking famous on TV, we'll make millions, right?
Yeah.
So I went and set these things up with those guys. And because of that, we did make millions. And now all these real estate agents know me. So now I'm running ads to loan officers saying, I have what you want. I have real estate agents that need good loan officers that understand marketing. And so now all these loan officers want to come to me because I'm kind of like the middleman plug. And I did that for 6 or 7 years until I pretty much, like, the loan officer market's about 200,000 people. And I fished deep in that pool. I sold like 13,000 of them. So I had so much market share of that small niche that there wasn't, and it's not like there's new people running to mortgages. Matter of fact, there's people leaving that industry right now. So we expanded into real estate. We started helping real estate agents, and then people in the trades, we started working with them about 2019. And dude, the biggest thing that we've seen is we've had guys that are roofers do over $2 billion in exits, about to be $3 billion in exits that have come through our Apex stuff, because we've taken these guys that are blue collar roofing guys and shown them how to run a real operation, and private equity is eating up HVAC, roofing, and plumbing operations that are well run right now. Shit, I've got a guy that sold his for 18 times EBITDA, his roofing company. Jesus, I got another guy last year in March sold his for 12 times EBITDA. And we're talking 9-figure buyouts. We're not talking about, oh, well, somebody paid $3 million for his cover. We're talking one guy $150 million, another guy $80 million. So that's been the biggest swing. But through that, I've created software companies and continued to build a real estate portfolio. And the biggest thing is, now that I've been doing this, I've had almost 86,000 people buy our products and come to our events and stuff like that in the 15 years I've been doing it. And a lot of, not all of them, obviously, but 10 to 15,000 of them, I've been on Zooms like this or podcasts with them or in rooms or in events where I'm listening about their business and how things work. And dude, there's not like an industry out there that I don't know something about or haven't helped somebody in or don't have a connection in. So it's been a huge blessing from the wisdom standpoint of doing all this as well.
I'm going to have to get them on HFB apparel here and HFB supplements. We're going to have to 50 times that motherfucker.
Let's do it. Let's up that production. We got to get those numbers up.
Big time. Holy shit.
Just don't send them any Let's Get Stupid, okay? They might think it's meth.
Yeah. There goes, gonna end up back in prison again.
He's gone.
I swear it's pre-workout. I swear it is.
So I saw you made a story the other day of your headquarters in Dallas or Frisco or whatever. And then you had that room and you're playing country music in it and shit. It's fucking awesome. I'm like, fuck, I wish I worked there, man. I wish my job was like that. Dude, I don't know what it was, some kind of platform, right? What do you have in that building? It looked huge.
We have a 20. So I own a 22,000 square foot office building. It's multiple stories on 4 acres in the richest zip code in the state of Texas.
Jesus,
so we have
damn.
a prime piece of real estate where we operate. I don't have partners, investors, any of that stuff. It's all me. I run my companies out of there. My software companies are events. We have a 300-person auditorium and 2 breakout rooms on the first floor, and on the second floor, all of our corporate headquarters. So when I bought this place, I put $2 million in cash into refurbishing it and fixing it up. And so like this place is basically brand new. It's beautiful, man. I even brought my own excavator out and cleaned the acreage around it, made the landscape and stuff look good. And so I think I spent $130,000 on the stereo system that's in there. I'm like, when I'm walking through this bitch, and that's just upstairs only.
Right.
I'm like, I want to hear whatever. I love music. I feel like there's a soundtrack to my life for some reason. So I like music, you know. And then downstairs, obviously in the stage room, we have huge speakers and shit. So, you know, when we're not using it for events, my office, I have a 7-foot by 10-foot LED screen for, you know, people put their PowerPoints and videos and stuff on. Dude, we throw Super Bowl parties, UFC parties. It's just my clients and friends. We don't charge people money for them or whatever. It's like we got this big ass TV. We'll all fucking chip in and get somebody to serve us all night with alcohol, or come and cook barbecue or tacos for us. Dude, we throw parties.
Got a lot of good barbecue down in Texas. I know that.
Yep.
Better than fucking Illinois. I think I'm moving to Dallas, Texas, boys.
Give us
nice,
3 songs that are soundtrack to your life. Give us 3.
There you go. Good question, Ross.
That is good. Right now, I'm really digging Treaty Oak Revival. There's a song called "Stop and Stare" by them. I discovered them from that Landman TV show. You know, obviously those shows about Texas are big. Another one's definitely Amarillo by Morning. And
George Strait, love that song.
Yeah. As soon as I got out of federal prison, that was the first thing I pulled on, because he said, I ain't got a dime, but what I got is mine. I ain't rich, but Lord, I'm free. And
you ever seen the video? You ever seen the video to that song?
No, I didn't know they had music videos back then.
Oh, man. I used to watch them all the time when I was like fucking a kid. My dad would have them on the TV and shit. No, Amarillo by Morning.
That's a good one.
He's walking down the road with just a little bitty bag about this big. And George Strait just walking on the road. It's like the whole music video.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I have to check it out. And then Country Boy by Aaron Lewis.
Aaron
I
Lewis
really like that a lot too. So, you know, I like all music. I listen to rap some days, depending on the mood I'm in. But, you know, I tend to mostly listen to like Southern rock or Texas country or something like that, you know. I can only take so much twerking, and like my generation of rap, we told stories about making money, and so this generation, they're the crackheads. My generation was the dealers. Like this new music, they're talking about being the consumers of the shit we used to make fun of people for. So it's a little weird to me.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, all I listen to is country. I don't think I know any other music.
Yeah.
Ross does. Ross
I like to be cultured.
Ross is very cultured. Ross, you live in Africa half the fucking year, right?
That's true. Yeah. I just found out today I'm going to Morocco next month.
You know, Jacob Ross was on the Olympic team for South Sudan, if you can believe that, out of Pittsburgh, Texas. You'll live in a bragging, Ross.
Yeah,
I have a client from Morocco. I hear it's nice there, man.
Yeah, I've been to I don't know if several countries in Africa so far, but I've never been to Morocco. But I'm going to go in kind of into February. But Pittsburgh, they were real excited I made the Olympics. And, I always tell these guys I brag on Pittsburgh because, it's actually a fairly famous place. Carroll Shelby's from there. We were the first in flight. If you look it up, we were the first airplane to ever fly.
Here we go.
I'll stop there. I'll stop there.
Jacob Ross, Olympic hero.
Hey,
Ross, Olympic
Shelby's
hero.
a pretty big claim right in itself,
Well, and Pilgrim's Fried Chicken, Bo Pilgrim, at one point, it was the second largest poultry producer in the country. Pittsburgh, Texas. Cluckingham Palace. Bo Pilgrim's house.
Cluckingham Palace, huh?
You can Google it, Cluckingham Palace, and see the pictures when they auctioned it off because they couldn't sell it. It's too big. Nobody could buy it. And so they had to auction it off. And I think somebody from Dallas came down and bought it. Dallas is like 2.5 hours away. And then I went to TCU. So I was in Fort Worth for 6 years before I moved here.
Yeah, those chicken farms are giant, bro. I was just telling my wife yesterday,
I saw her in your video last night. Looked pretty good.
Yeah, she's good times.
Yeah, she had a fucking mechanical bull somewhere.
I tipped the mechanical bull guys like, don't kill my wife. I need her tomorrow, man. Just go here's $20. Don't throw her off. Make her feel good.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't know that, so she felt good until she saw that video today. So this whole time she's been just like reeling in it.
Where were you at? Was that at like Billy Bob's or somewhere down there?
Red River, Cowboys Red River.
Oh, okay, I don't know where that's at.
Have you ever been there, Jacob?
No, I haven't.
Oh, so on Wednesday nights they do like dance lessons, so you can come learn the country dance. So I brought a bunch of my clients there to learn the country dance. You know,
yes. Yeah.
Which honestly, for those of you that are single, watching a country bar, no matter what music you're into, is the best place to pick up the opposite sex, because you get to ask them to dance, and that's like a normal thing in there, and you get to know each other while you're dancing and stuff like that. Versus just buying a drink and being awkward at the bar, just standing there and shit. It is a pretty good system to mingle, you know.
I've done that many times with sweatpants, shorts on, and no underwear and a pair of cowboy boots.
I bet you really have, too, man.
That's the truth, brother. I ain't lying.
I can see it.
Picked up a lot of women that way.
Thursday nights at Billy Bob's used to be TCU night, so we could get in for free if you had a TCU ID. And every Thursday night, freshman, sophomore year, we were there because, like exactly like you said, you could bring a girl that you were interested in. It wasn't weird to learn how to line dance together, and it was an easy way to get to know each other and like kind of just break the ice.
Billy Bob's a fun place too, man. I've rented that thing out 2 or 3 times for our events just to give people the experience. We'll throw a seminar in Billy Bob's. It's something different.
That's awesome.
Last time I was there, the people that threw it was a Jelly Roll concert, and the people that threw the concert there, they're friends of ours. So I was backstage with Post Malone and Jelly Roll and Struggle Jennings. We're having the time of our lives.
I know Struggle Jennings. So, yeah, I know him.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Awesome.
I've known him for a few years. Sean Whalen introduced us way back. Or no, actually, maybe Tommy Vex introduced us way back in the day. So
there's a guy also from Texas named Cody Jinks who I partied with many times out there. You listen to his music?
No, I'm going to check him out.
Check out Cody Jinks. He's from Texas. His claim to fame was he made more money than anybody ever without a record label.
Oh,
that's how he started out. And he could party, and so can his band. I partied a lot on his tour bus.
I've done that with a few different bands. That's a good time, always, you know.
Billy Bob's is wild. I was out in Billy Bob's that same trip last summer. We stopped at Billy's. First time I was ever out there.
That's a big spot, man.
Huge.
Is Billy Bob's still
Fort
like
Worth.
Yeah, like when I was there, it was an underrated concert place. Like you could go see really famous artists for like 10 or 15
everybody's
bucks
been
back
there.
then. Yeah, and it was such a small venue that it felt really intimate. You didn't feel like you. I mean, what can you? I don't know what it is now, but back then it was maybe 1,000 people,
probably
1,500 or something like that.
Probably 1,500, 2,000 now.
So it was like $10 or $15. You could go see, Dierks Bentley or Keith Urban or
they got that live rodeo in there too. They got that live rodeo thing in there.
Yeah,
I snuck in the back way and went into the rodeo when we went in there.
That's where the green room is, where all the artists hang out and get drunk and high and shit too, is back there by that rodeo area.
What is your favorite beer to drink? You are a Texan. I don't know. What is your favorite beer?
I do not drink beer.
You've never drank beer?
I've obviously drank beer, but I couldn't tell you the last time I drank beer.
Well,
I like tequila and vodka. Beers.
Well, what kind of vodka?
If I'm drinking vodka, I like Grey Goose. Tequila, I like Casamigos.
Come on, this is Texas beer. Texas Tito's right here.
That shit makes me antsy. I don't know why, because there's different vodkas made from potatoes and
corn,
and different corn shit and wheat. Yeah. And Grey Goose, I think, is grain, and it's the one that works better for whatever my body type is. So,
tequila is not good. Jesus, tequila is fucking wild.
No good. No.
Actually, I might debunk your myth here. Just hear me out. Like, okay, I used to think the same thing. The reason why we believe that is because we rarely start with tequila.
That's true.
Right? The reason why we have a problem with it is because we cheated on whatever we started with tequila, and then we're mad she's mad at us, right?
You're probably right there.
So I have this rule. I have these rules of drinking, and one of them is because I'm I'm not famous, but I'm well known in business circles I hang out in. So I can't be a slob if I'm out in public because I never know what the fuck, right?
Right.
So I have years ago
Been there.
created these like drinking responsible rules, and one of them's like stick
Hold on.
with what
Our
you
crowd
stick with
should
what you
definitely
started.
listen up to this right here. Because our followers should definitely, this might be the most important stuff he says on this podcast right now. So get your ears on. Take notes, Jacob.
Take notes, Jacob.
All right,
Take
go
notes.
ahead.
Well, the main one is stick with what you start with. So if I start drinking beer, I need to finish the night drinking beer. If I start drinking tequila, I need to finish the night drinking tequila. So pick what you're going to start with and roll with it for the night. Tequila is less harmful to your liver than beer. It is the least harmful alcohol that there is.
Like
and
toxins,
the cool thing,
right, or something.
the reason why is it bypasses most of your liver. Here's the reason why most people have a problem with tequila. It's the only alcohol that's a stimulant. So if you're drinking beer all night and you hit tequila, now you're drunk as fuck and you're awake. You know what I mean? That's why there's the problems that happen after the blackout, because the tequila is actually a stimulant. It's the only alcohol that's a stimulant. But if you drink rot gut cheap tequila, none of that shit applies. But if you drink good stuff, all of those apply. So
You got that down, Jacob?
I got it.
We need
Now,
to review that after the podcast.
I'm going to go off camera for just a second, but I'm going to show you something when I come back. You guys keep going.
Come on, man. This is a kid-friendly podcast, Jacob. Keep your clothes on, brother. So you're
bringing us
so
props.
what was your favorite
props.
beer that you ever was it? I mean, Lone Star. You guys drink Lone Star down there, or
sometimes, honestly, if I was going to drink a beer, a really cold Corona with a lime is probably my favorite.
Okay, well, Mexico's right there. That's why you like tequila and Corona.
That's probably, speak pretty good Spanish too.
What the fuck is that noise? He's getting something.
That's not me. Oh, that's homeboy.
Jacob
That's
getting something. I don't know what he's getting. It sounds like he's cracking something open.
Hold on. I'm almost there.
We're holding, Jacob.
Well, you guys are too humble. You're not bragging about yourselves enough, so I'll do it for you. Here's something that you didn't know that these guys have.
Oh yeah,
right there.
Vodka. That's true. Let's get stupid vodka.
Dude, that's awesome.
We're gonna have to send him a bottle now. He's been on the show.
Yeah,
I got some bottles at the bar right now.
Yeah.
Mix that with some tequila. See what happens.
I want to sit that in the green room at my office. We have a green room where like the celebrities and speakers hang out before they speak. So
They got Let's Get Stupid vodka.
That'd be fucking great.
That'd be fucking perfect, brother. Love it.
Yeah.
I'll send you. I'll get your info after this. I'll send you.
Yeah,
I'll
we'll get
pack up some shit and I'll send it to you, Ryan.
I'll take it. Thank you.
Oh my God.
It's like fucking gasoline though. You might not want to drink it. It came up pretty fucking. It's pretty fucking strong.
101 proof and
it's a little
just for show, mostly show.
So if I take a scoop of the pre-workout and hit that vodka, it's gonna be like speedballing or some shit, right?
You'll hit a PR, no problem.
Yeah, greatest speech ever afterwards.
It's actually how they make Trin. That's how they make Trin.
Just inject that right into the veins. God. What I got some questions. What is your best business advice to let's just say idiots? People listening, me.
My best. So if you're a startup, my best advice is don't listen to anybody that's not running a business that's successful. You're gonna rely on your friends and family and to give you advice or to edify your ideas, and they have no fucking idea, and they will end up shooting down a perfectly good idea that you can go execute and make millions from. If you're already running a business, I'm in finance, and my main source of income is business finance. And so, I see people's bank statements and tax returns. I've looked at them on a daily basis for 21 years now. And the last couple of years, people got murdered in their finances, like from the average, business operator to the mom and dad that are raising a family, that the cost of everything just went up, and in times like that, most people, and we watched this happen in the influencer market, in the business world, people think that's the time to quit and go get a job. Mm-hmm. And the truth is, that's like being down a couple of hands in blackjack, but knowing that any minute now you're going to get the right card dealt, but then walking away anyway because you're scared to wait 2 or 3 more hands to get that right card. The key to long-term success in business is just don't quit. And every time it gets hard, it sucks. But there's so many people in whatever industry you're in that quit, that every time the hard part's over with, if you don't quit, you're already ahead of those folks that went back to get a job, your competition that couldn't carry their bank loans that went out of business. So, there's times when you got to make tough decisions like laying people off or cutting back your lifestyle. And I've had to do all of that shit in various points through my career too. But I never quit, never went back, man. I fucking wanted to. There's been plenty of days where I'm like, fuck this. I'll just go bag up fries at McDonald's and smile at motherfuckers all day. I do not have to deal with this shit. I've lived that life. I can check it off we all go through those thought processes at times when things get hard. But those of us, if you are a business owner and you weathered the storm and your business maybe wasn't the most profitable, but you're still survived and you're still able to pay your bills and get through the last 2 years, you're fucking way ahead further than you think you are. The fact that you see everybody bragging on, I see the guys in business owners brag on social media and then send me their fucking tax returns and bank statements, right?
Fake.
So, and not all of them, but it's out there, and not even just the influencers, but nobody wants to go on social media and go, my business is failing, send me some fucking deals, please, right? Like that's not a good pitch for the public. So you may be out there in the struggle thinking you're the only one, and I promise you 99% is going through it. They can't talk
the economy
about it for perception.
sucks, right?
Yeah.
But it's
my
coming
favorite
back.
Yeah, it's coming back. Well, Trump's coming back, so the economy should come back, hopefully.
We're already seeing consumer confidence increase. You know, being a banker, I'm privy to all these banks send me all this data shit because they're marketing to me, so I get to see all their internal stuff that, you know, we paid $500,000 for a market study to figure out, yes, people do want to buy a home still. Just dumb shit, but they give you the data that you see, and you can see that the consumer confidence is definitely coming back. Like even in the real estate market, although the interest rates went up, people are comfortable enough knowing what's coming into this administration where they're out shopping at houses more than they have the last couple of years.
What
hold on real quick. So like my favorite thing you'll probably say is like the family and friends thing. I had so many people in like 18, 19, I was starting to get into real estate, and all my friends from home were like, real risky. I heard on WGN 720 AM. It's not good, but it's
that's a good network though, Tommy. It's Chicago's very own.
Yeah, I figured out like whatever. I figured out what I need to figure out. Start buying houses, and then I'm closing deals at 2%, 3%, 3.5% on an investment loan. I'm buying like pennies in the dollar. You understand? Like at 3% back in 2020, 21. I'm like, I'm buying it the best time I could ever get started. I did, and now I'm like 5 years ahead of those guys. I'm like, just because I took the risk, and I'm like, I'm not listening to people who don't have money and don't have houses. So I just listened to Grant Cardone for 3 years and research houses for 3 years. I'm like, I'm not listening to anybody unless they have more money than me. So that's huge. The family and friends, that's took you out of anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Grant's, dude. Here's what I look at for these like online personalities. Look, first of all, 90% of them have been on my stage. A lot of them have used our platform as a launching pad. Whether they went on to keep their integrity or not could be different. That's just how it is in this world. Just like if you're Peter Berg, the director, you can't help somebody getting a cocaine problem that acted in one of your movies. It just fucking happens in this industry, right? But you can judge somebody like Grant is a great example. Like the guy's been around for a long time, first of all, but second of all, it's like he owns his own home, he owns a jet. You can't fake a certain level of success, and that's great. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, he's too salesy, he's not for me." But look at his life. Like, take all the material shit away. He's got 2 really good daughters and a wife that's really happy. It seems like he's got not just his business figured out, but at least on, I don't know him personally, but at least on camera, it looks like the family is very well organized as well. It's like, it's hard to hate on something like that. Even if you don't like a person's style, it's like, dude, that guy's winning in his family, he's winning in business. Shit, that's what I want, Right. So it's smart of you to follow that guy.
Yeah, I watched maybe every YouTube video he had out for 2 years straight before I bought a house. I did deals. He told me to write down every deal. I wrote down every fucking deal for an hour every morning on all these houses. I didn't buy 200 of them because I just writing the deals out until I found one. And then I found another one. And I'm like, I'm just going to keep this fucking thing going.
I'm sitting over here watching fucking porn for the last 2 years. God damn it, I fucked up, man.
It's
wrong tab. Why didn't you tell me that, Tommy? God dang it. Been beat my dick for 2 years.
Texas, you can't even pull it up on your computer here.
Well, listen, I know that because I traveled there and I'm like, what the fuck? I can't look at you. I can't look at Pornhub. This is un-American.
Nope.
Come on, man.
Get this RV out of here.
Yeah, Karen, we're out of here. Let's go to fucking let's go to Louisiana. Fuck this.
Well, it sounds like you've been trained to be a porn star then. You've been researching.
I've been doing a lot of research in the porn business. I've gotten very good over the years, yes, but that's not making me money yet. You know what I mean?
Not yet. Don't quit.
Yeah, what did you say? Ryan just said you got to keep going, brother.
I got to keep
still in the game.
Hey, did you see that chick yesterday that's like all over Twitter that she slept with 157
I saw
dudes
that.
in one day?
Holy
I thought it was like 1,012 hours.
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah.
Dude, okay. So I see these AB. I follow AB. You know, Antonio Brown. He's funny.
Oh yeah, I follow him. He's awesome on Twitter.
And so he posts this thing where this chick's holding this up, and I'm like, "What's this?" And I'm reading the comments, and it's explaining what's going on. Right? I'm like, "All right, I got to go check this chick out." I don't know if any of y'all went to her Twitter page, but that chick might be a man. There's naked pictures of her, and I couldn't have sex with that, bro.
And like 1,200 guys fucked her.
Dude. Yeah, and she has like her clit is like rather large, bro. And
it's like China.
I just saw it on Twitter because you know Twitter they put.
We're gonna have to look that up, Tommy. Get it
yeah.
online right now. Pull it up, Tommy.
I'm not sure if maybe 1,057 dudes came out of the closet yesterday.
Here we go.
I'm not exactly sure.
Only fan star claims she slept with.
This
1,057 men in 12 hours and broke the world record. Oh, she's happy.
12. I thought it was 24 hours. 12 is even more impressive.
Asking for boys, dads, and husbands to sneak away from their loved ones to help with their alleged record. Bonnie Blue.
Where was this at?
The critics telling her to find God. Where was this at? I don't know.
Yeah, what country allows this? I feel like this is illegal in like most countries.
Right? It's got to be some. It's got to be.
It's a 20-year-old record she brought.
Lisa Sparks. I knew her. Yeah, she's a good friend of mine.
It's not recognized by Guinness World Records, though.
Oh, geez, how can you not recognize that? I mean, come on.
Well, they have somebody to be there to watch it to certify
London.
It
was in London.
Oh, London could kiss my ass. I hate London, man.
I don't know.
That is disgusting. Could you imagine being dude like
800?
Guy like 30, let alone guy like 900, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah, 800. Oh, here I come. Here comes Huck Finn. Open it up. Yep.
There was a comment that said that was I did the math and this person broke down that it was a gallon and 2 cups of
holy
semen.
shit. God, I did the math.
That's like 10 pounds of fucking jizz, bro.
God damn. That is insane.
Did you see the quote on the bottom of the article right before it came back to our screen? It said, and I told him, like, I'm fine. I don't need a wheelchair.
She's bragging. She's doing a little bragging herself over there.
Yeah.
That's less. That's 3/4 of a minute per person. It's like 45 seconds per guys for 1,000 in 12 hours.
It sounds
so that's right up your alley, Finn. I mean, you got those record numbers.
I can get 45 seconds easily. Yeah, no problem.
All day. That's easy.
45 seconds, man. I could fucking beat that easily.
Let's just give it 24 hours and Joey Swole will make a video on it. And then
wrong again, Joey.
From there.
I love that. Joey called me immediately after that. I don't know how he even got my number. FaceTime me. After like the second one, he FaceTime me. I'm sitting out in the gym studying to do this fucking other thing. And I'm in my gym. Yeah, watching you porn, studying. And I was studying for that fucking exam I had. I can't really talk about it, but
the rectal exam.
Right, yeah. So and I'm on my phone looking up this fucking quiz shit, and my phone lights up and it's Joey Swole wanting to FaceTime me. It's like 10 o'clock on a Wednesday night. I'm like, what the fuck does this guy want? And I'm like, I'm not gonna answer it. I gotta fucking work. Because I don't know him. I never talked to him before, you know? So I'm like, yeah, fuck it. And I answer the phone. He's standing there, and I go, wrong again, Joey. And he starts laughing and then starts talking about how he's from Chicago and stuff, you know, and seemed like a pretty good dude. And I'm like, man, I wanted this guy to be like my arch enemy, you know? And then here's the weirdest part of the whole thing. Like he's got I guess a firefighter girlfriend who is also in the background somewhere. And he starts doing his laundry while he's talking to me, and he's folding his fucking underwear. And I go, what the fuck are you doing, man? Who folds your underwear talking to some other guy? So it was just fucking weird as fuck, man. So next time I'm going to FaceTime him, you know, get like my wife's fucking panties and start folding those up, saying they're mine. Hey, Joey, how you doing today, brother? Just very weird.
I don't FaceTime people. That's like a weird trend to me. Like I like a level of privacy.
Same here. I've never FaceTimed anybody, I don't think.
Maybe my wife a couple times if I'm on vacation or she's with the kids somewhere. Right. But like
I barely use a FaceTime.
I promise you this, I never FaceTime no fucking dude in my life.
No, you'd imagine like me trying to FaceTime you like today. Hey, how you doing, brother? Why are you FaceTiming me?
Right here. Yeah, it's great to see your face.
Yeah, I've like never talked to you on this telephone, but I'm gonna fucking FaceTime you. That was very strange.
God. Yeah, but all the kids do it though. Like when we're traveling with the national team, they're all like 20 to 28 for the most part, and all they do is FaceTime each other all day long. Yeah. And like sometimes they'll be in the bus like 3 or 4 rows behind each other, and they FaceTime each other. I'm like, you guys are the biggest goober heads I've ever seen in my life. This is insane.
It must be from Pittsburgh, Texas. Goober heads. All right, I got some questions for you. What is your favorite TV show?
Of all time, or like
Yes.
currently
All
on
time.
TV?
All time.
The Shield, hands down, never been a better show ever.
What is your favorite food?
Tacos, chicken tacos specifically.
I like the very quick answer so far. Your favorite song?
I bet none of you've ever heard it, but I'm a big music person. So like really big in music, but I have a rule with this song by a artist called Darcy, Darcy. The song is called Don't Ask. And I have a rule every time it comes on, I got to play it. I don't know what it is about that song, but like if you look on Spotify, it's probably been played, I don't know, whatever. And I'm 99% of that. I found it one time like 6 or 7 years ago, and I've just played the shit. My kids listen to it. My wife, I don't know what the hell.
I'm putting on the
like
Huckfin Barbell playlist right now on Spotify if you want to look that up.
It's good shit. I even went and saw that guy in concert once.
Hold on, Darcy's Donkey?
No.
It's called
No,
Darcy.
it's like, yeah.
That's Pornhub. It's a different.
Shit, I'm on the wrong site again. God damn it.
Yeah, keep going.
How do you? I'm on the wrong site. Let me see. Maybe I spelled it wrong.
Is that it, Kevin?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I don't know. It's just something about this song. It's good times. You know.
What kind of music is it, Tommy?
Like electronic music.
Don't ask. Don't ask.
Sounds like a little out of my league, brother.
I don't know why. You know, I listen. So while my job is to be a marketing guy, and part of that is to create a lot of content, which means I write books, blogs, articles for Forbes. I'm one of the top contributors for Forbes, and so I write a lot of shit for them and a lot of stuff for. And so I'm constantly, I have to be kind of like in a zone because I have ADHD really, really bad, and so. You know, I have to wall myself off, and I'll put music like that on in the background. So it's not like, you know, if you put Hank Williams Jr., I'll stop and sing and like, yeah, you know what I mean? Or something like that, where I can put music like that on in the background. And it's just kind of, you know, it just kind of keeps me in the zone, keeps me focused. It's just, you know, it's just jazz or background music or whatever you want to call it.
What is your favorite movie?
Snatch.
Is that an adult movie or?
Yeah, it could be. Have you never seen it?
I've never seen. Well, I think I did see Snatch. Wasn't it around the same time? Was it Quentin Tarantino made it or no?
Guy Ritchie. So
Guy Ritchie,
yes. Quentin Tarantino, yes.
It was around the same time that other movie came out with Travolta, right? The Quentin Tarantino movie. I think I saw it one time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction, Snatch. I got them confused.
Snatch is legend, man. It's Brad Pitt and Jason Statham. Like before Jason Statham was famous. It's a badass movie.
I haven't seen. I feel like I've seen it.
Yeah, it's a good one. He did another movie called The Gentleman, and they made a series out of the movie on Netflix. It's like the best fucking Netflix thing that they've ever put up there.
Huh. Maybe I have to watch.
Now,
Snatch.
Ryan, have you ever seen a movie called Tombstone?
Yes.
Because
we got a guy. Wait, where is he? Over there,
Tommy.
Who had never seen Tombstone.
Somebody bought the movie for him.
I think Dan. I said, fine, I'll fucking watch that movie. Everybody wants to talk about it. I'll fucking watch it. Somebody's got to pay for it, though. I'm not paying for this shit. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. So somebody like Venmo me $3. I'm like, fuck. Yeah. Now I got to watch this fucking movie on fucking Amazon Prime.
Movie, man. Yeah, we talk about that all the time.
You've
never seen Tombstone? No, I've never seen Tombstone.
It's a good movie.
These questions are going to get a little harder now.
Okay, as long as there's no math involved.
Did he just read my fucking mind? I swear to God, the next question is a math question. You guys know these questions. What is 8 times 7?
Fuck.
He's got to be
50. Fuck, I don't know. 58, 52.
Oh, man. 56.
Oh, fuck. All right.
This is great. All right. Told you these questions get a little tougher, brother. Next question. Name the 2 major mountain ranges in the United States.
Rocky Mountains, Appalachian Mountains.
Correct. Name the 5 Great Lakes.
Superior, Michigan, Ontario. Lake Michigan is in Chicago too.
Mm-hmm.
You said 5, so I'm 3 short, 2 short.
Too short.
Fuck, I don't know the last two.
Homes, Homes.
Mm.
Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, Superior.
Erie. Yeah, I didn't get that one either.
Should we go? Right. Should we go to the extra credit question?
What's that?
Name 5 states that touch the Gulf of Mexico.
Texas.
Oh, excuse me, Gulf of America.
Yes, soon to be the Gulf of America. Correct.
Right.
Change your question.
Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida.
You know what those questions are actually for? What I've used those questions for when I interview inmates at my job for a job. I'm in charge of a certain job at the prison, and those are my interview questions. That's what I ask every inmate every time. I swear to God, I've been doing that for years.
Do you still do that now or no?
Yeah, no. I was up at I can't tell you where I was at, but I was all over the state of Illinois the last 2 days transporting inmates.
Good times.
And my wife, so if I work 2 more years, my insurance is paid for the rest of my life.
Oh, nice.
So it's locked in. And then my wife, she was a teacher, like a reading specialist, and she quit her job about 6 years ago when we started up the apparel company. And we just went on a limb. Like, we had a kid being born, and she's like, I don't want to work anymore. And I said, we made so much money. I was sponsored by 8 Man Strong, an apparel company, and they gave me 100 shirts one day, and I sold them like in a day. And I was like, man, what if I had an unlimited supply? I don't know how much money I can make. Maybe we should start our own company. So we pretty much started it out of our garage of our last house. And very glad I did. I bet on myself, and she quit her job and never looked back. That was 6 years ago. So.
Plus, I think it's smart when people like in government service, the military, in your case, the correctional system, but like you said, you work 2 more years and you get insurance for the rest of your life for free. That's a big come up, especially later in life. In your 20s, you don't give a shit about that stuff, dude. But like later on in life, dude, I pay almost $40,000 a year for my family.
I know, it's fucking crazy. Yeah,
because there's 6 of us,
right?
And so
I have 3 girls.
Yeah,
Tom has 3 girls,
and we're all super healthy too, and it's still fun. And I pay $40,000 a year for the privilege of paying $5,000 each per deduction, plus whatever the fuck they decide to cut me off at. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. So
fucking racket.
Well, you count the taxes on that shit. That's like $65,000. That's a whole ass another income.
I hate taxes.
Yeah. Well,
Illinois has the worst taxes ever.
You got to keep Karen's elbows insured.
Yeah, I know. She's got
that
manual printer out there, man. She's dragging ink constantly. Yeah, she's got bad elbows. Well, I'm going to work on those elbows tonight when I go in. I'm going to make her give me a hand job.
Yeah, that's good. Good on you.
Yeah. I already told her that. When this podcast is over, you're beating me off when I get in there.
Just tell her to use her mouth, though. Do a hand job with her mouth.
Well, of course. Well, she starts with the hand and goes to the mouth. Come on, you know the drill, Tommy.
I quit bragging over there, Finn.
What
top 3 favorite books?
No, there you go. Good. I was going to ask that was my next question, Tommy. Jesus.
Sorry, buddy. Beat you to it.
I really like Can't Hurt Me by Goggins for mindset stuff. I've been fortunate enough to know David for way before he had Instagram, so he's been a cool person in my life over the years.
How did you know him before all that?
I have 4 kids and I'm married, so you're not supposed to say this, but it was the greatest night of my life, but not just because he was there. He just happened to be a part of the greatest night of my life, right? So
that sounds like the best story ever.
Yeah, it is. I'm about to tell you. So
yes.
I have a friend. So this was 2017. Okay, so 8 years ago. When the UFC is in Texas or they come to Dallas, which is every few years or whatever the case, Joe Rogan always does stand up the night before. So he'll do stand up somewhere and then do UFC commentary the next day. I've been a big fan of Joe Rogan since I knew he was doing stand up back in the Fear Factor days. So I've been like bootlegging his shit on YouTube for forever. Right. And so I've been going to his stand up stuff for a long time. Anyway, I got 2 friends that are going with me and my wife is going with me. I got 4 tickets. Well, one of my friends is a black guy and he's like, hey, listen, I wouldn't normally tell you, dude, I've been friends with this guy for 20 fucking years in my life. And he's like, you got to tell your wife she can't come. I need that ticket. I'm like, what? I'm just gonna tell my wife, like, hey, me and the boys are going out. I know we had plans, but date night's off. Like, what the fuck? And he's like, listen, man, when I was running this marathon, I've been running marathons for 2 years, right? And I never seen another black guy run a fucking marathon. And there was another black guy at this marathon. So immediately we became fucking friends. Turns out this motherfucker was a Navy SEAL. I never met a black Navy SEAL. So we immediately became even better friends. And he's in town working with the Texas Rangers. We got to give him that ticket. We need to hang out with this fucking guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, okay, whatever, right? So I tell my wife, like, hey, shit, I'm taking this guy named Goggins, whoever the fuck he is, to this deal, so you can't go, right? So the day of it comes, and we go to he's working with the Texas Rangers at this time. He's like probably screaming at their pitchers or some shit, right? So, and again, none of us know who the fuck he is. The world knows him now, but nobody knew who he was, except for maybe his friends and his wife. So he gets in the car. We're kind of shooting the shit, getting to know each other. Me and him are sitting in the back seat together, whatever. We go to this Joe Rogan stand up, and Joe's fucking hilarious and everything else.
Does he laugh at all during the Joe Rogan stand up?
Oh yeah, dude. He's a cool dude to hang with.
Yeah.
He really is. He's also like no bullshit, obviously, right? And like I said, I've known the guy for 8 years, but I still wouldn't call him a friend. I know everybody goes, oh yeah, and I know Goggins and he's my friend. It's like, you need to ask David if you're his friend. You don't get to just call yourself his friend, And if you really knew him, you'd fucking know that. So anyway, the show is over, and I'm trying to get David down there to meet Joe Rogan. Now I don't fucking know Joe Rogan, but for somehow I'm convinced that I can get. I'm like, because Joe's always talking about this endurance shit, and then David was telling me this 100-mile race and shit. I was like, fuck, you sound like somebody Joe would be fucking talking about. Y'all need to meet. So I tried to connect them. It obviously didn't work. We're walking out of the stadium or the concert hall or whatever the case. And me and my two friends in Goggins, we're about to go downtown, and I think we're about to go drink. And David, he's like, oh no, man, I'm just going to run back to the hotel.
Like
and I'm
10
like,
miles or something.
Okay, cool. I'll call you an Uber, man. You don't have to call your own. I'll pay for it or whatever. And he's like, no. Like, I'm going to run. And I'm like, bro, it's like fucking 16, 17 miles back. We're 2 cities fucking over, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man, I'll make it. I got GPS and plenty of battery, dude. I'll see you guys later. Like, oh, wait, let me get your phone number before you leave, man. Because I need a crazy motherfucker.
Yeah,
like
that's
on
hilarious.
My Rolodex, you know what I mean? But that the night gets even crazier. So he runs off into the fucking distance, right? And so we get in, we go downtown, we get to this bar, and again, I'm not really thinking about this, but the UFC's in town, so of course they're going to be at the AAC Center, and we're at a bar like within that little part of town or whatever, right? So I'm sitting at the bar, and I'm ordering a drink, and my phone vibrates. I look at it's a text message from this guy named Alan Belcher, who's a UFC. He was he's retired now, but he was the BKFC heavyweight champion 2 years ago.
Bare
and
knuckle fighting guy.
for a while. Yep. And nicest guy you'll ever meet, but dude, he's got hands like catcher's mitts, bro. You wouldn't want to fucking take nothing from him. Dude's lethal.
Right.
We flew down to New Orleans to watch him win the heavyweight in BKFC. That was a crazy experience too. But anyway, that shit ain't well organized like the UFC, or at least it wasn't the one I went to. It's fucking crazy.
It's like the beginning of the UFC days.
Yes, exactly. Right. So anyway, we get to this bar. I'm ordering. Alan sends me a text. He's like, hey, are you at happiest hour at the bar? And I'm like, yeah, man, where are you at? Because obviously if he's sending me that, he's got to be somewhere around there. He's like, I'm going to come get you. Who are you with? Text him, I'm with Jay and Mike. Okay, cool. So he comes up to the bar. I pay my tab, walk over. He goes, all right, man, you go grab your dudes, and we got a reserved table over here. You can just hang out with us. So I'm like, oh, it's fucking cool. Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. It's Dana White, dude, and they're all fucking sauced over there, dude. Yeah. And so I just left David Goggins, and now I'm fucking hanging out with Dana White for the night. I'm talking his ear off all night because I'm fucking getting drunk with him. Shit, we were having time of our life. He goes, hey, man, if you want, you can come speak to the UFC tomorrow. They're staying at this hotel, dude. I'll have my people put word out or whatever. It's like, fuck yeah. So I go home at 2:30 in the morning, pissed drunk, getting out of the Uber. And I got to at 9 in the morning, I got to go fucking speak in front of the UFC, which was hilarious because he's drunk too. So I show up the next day and there's 3 guys in the fucking room that I'm speaking to. Right. And first of all, you think like I'm thinking again because I'm drunk. I'm thinking UFC. Oh fuck, dude! Like a stadium full of people. There's only like 8 fighters on that card for the night anyway.
Yeah.
So the UFC is a small. But of those 3 guys, all 3 of them won, and all 3 of them got fight of the night in their weight class. So I felt like I fucking accomplished something at that event. So
that's awesome.
But the next day, I went and picked up David Goggins. After I smoked the UFC, went and picked David Goggins to take him to the airport. I texted him. I was like, listen, I got a Lamborghini, an Escalade, and a McLaren, and a pickup truck. Dude, you tell me, I'll come pick you up in whatever car that you want. I'm just trying to impress the fucking guy or something, right? That's what he says. Like, just bring the fucking truck. So, and so anyway, I go pick him up, drop him off. Before he leaves, I was like, hey, man, why don't will you mentor me? Like if I call you once a week and we go on once every 2 weeks on a schedule, I give you a little bit of money. He's like, you'll pay me to call me every 2 weeks. How much? And I'm like, I don't know, 30 grand. He's like, you fucking stupid, but I'll take your money. And so I spent a whole year calling this dude every 2 weeks, talking to him and helping like running my problems by him. And how do I get over these mental hurdles and shit like that? So he's been
he's helping you. That's awesome. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Cause that guy's I don't read books. I'm a terrible reader. It takes me like 7 times to read, but I did read that and listen to it on my iPhone.
Yeah. It's a great book.
Yeah.
He spoke at my event in 2022. Is the last event that I did that he spoke at, and he was retired from speaking. So I had Tom Brady booked to speak, and I wired $1.2 million for Tom Brady's speaking fee for him. And
give me $20, brother. I'll be there.
Dude, here's the thing. Like, I have a 90-day window to promote an event that we need to get about 5,000 people to. This is in 2022, right? But I do this every year. So like, this is my play, right? But I got this 90-day window. Tom Brady, I wire him 1.25 million. And I think I can immediately say he's never spoke on stage at an event like this. At this point in 22, he's done it for Cardone and those guys now. But at this point, he hadn't done it. So I'm thinking, hey, I'm the first guy to get the GOAT that just retired. I'm going to sell these 5,000 seats. Was fucking legal team battles me for 75 of those 90 days.
God.
They won't let me post this. They won't let me do this marketing. They got to approve everything. And it's fucking corporate red tape central. So then about 2 weeks before the fucking event is to ran. And I've been telling people Tom Brady's going to be there. They call me back and they say, we need $2 million. The fuck do you need $2 million for? They said, ESPN and Phil Mickelson want to play a golf thing and record it on TV that day, and they're going to make $2 million. So if you can't match that, he's got to go where the money is for the day. I'm going to send me my fucking money back. Fuck, I didn't promote this shit in time anyway to be able to get it off, right? So they wire me the money back. I call Andy Frisella. Andy, will you speak? He's like, bro, I don't speak. I'm fucking after the pandemic. I'm done with that shit. Like, fuck. So I called David, and he's like, nah, man, I'm not going to do it. And I was like, because David was making 50 at the time. And I was like, what if I give you 200? Will you do it then? And he goes, you'd give me 200 grand to come down. I'm thinking it's a steal because I just got $1.2 million back from Tom Brady. So 200. And I like David. I just want to bless him. The fucking money's not the thing, right? And I've already sold the tickets at this point before we even really majorly marketed Tom Brady. So I'm still in the green on this deal. So David, he goes, I just enrolled as a smoke jumper. I'm not even legit able to ask for leave until 2 days before your date. So even if I say yes, I don't know if I can leave, but tentatively, I'll take your fucking money. So
hold on, I got to piss my pants.
Yeah, no problem.
You keep talking. I just got to pee real quick.
Cool. So 2 days before the event, his wife texts me. She's like, it's on, send the contract. And I had already sent him the money because I told him if it didn't work out, he could just send me the money back. I'd send him the money in good faith to let him know I wasn't blowing smoke up his ass because he didn't believe that he was worth that much money. He's like, you're fucking crazy. And so he comes out, speaks at the event, and there's 1,600 people in my mastermind program called Apex at the time that were at that live event. He signed every one of their books and took a picture with every single fucking person there. Cool. The event started at 7:00. He spoke until 9 and stayed there till 2:30 in the fucking morning taking pictures with all those people.
Damn.
Dude, at the same point, I paid Logan Paul $180 grand to come and do an interview up there. And Logan's a great guy. I like him a lot too. But like he got his 180 grand and bounce. So did A-Rod, bounce. You know what I mean? David's like, fuck it, dude. I'm here. I'm gonna make the most of it. I'll stay here till the very last person gets what they fucking want. That's like he's a real motherfucker, you know?
Yeah, that's fucking cool.
That's awesome.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I almost pissed my pants.
Man, we've been going for a long ass time, huh?
Booze will do that to you.
What two other books?
not as
Two
long
other
as I thought.
what two other books we got? That took us on a tangent.
Yeah.
Good story though.
Business person, I really like this book by a guy named Tommy Mello called Elevate. And if you're trying to grow a business, it's a great book about building hierarchy and culture in a company. So if you're not a business person, it's the most boring shit ever, but it's a real good step-by-step process for your employees. And then everybody knows Think and Grow Rich, but there's another version of that called The Law of Success. So Think and Grow Rich is like a few chapters out of The Law of Success. It was the first ever like self-help book that I ever read. And it's like the most impactful. And you guys, even if you've read it before, if you go back and read Think and Grow Rich now, and you start hearing the word mastermind and you hear about him talking about transmutation and microwave frequencies, that shit all exists now. It's all fucking here. All that shit that he said was coming fucking exists in real time right now. So, those are books that for business, Elevate, for mindset, Goggins, and then obviously Law of Success is good just for personal development, period.
When you said you're going to have Andy Fersilio out there, right? You know Andy real well?
Yes, I've known Andy since 2018. So I helped Ed Milet get in Forbes magazine back in 2017, and we became friends. And Ed has been a great friend and mentor. And he introduced me to Andy because they started Arate. I was Arate's first member, and I was their top enroller. So a lot of the guys that were in, not all of them, but a lot of the guys that were in Arate, I had brought over from Apex and from my marketing and stuff. And I made them millions of bucks in the affiliate stuff there, right? And they put me on stage at their event, just service to them. And so I got to know them through that. So I think I was one of the first like outsiders, like influencer people to go in Andy's garage before he had finished making it and stuff like that. So he's been good to me, man. Him and Sal just
I know
spoke
Sal a little bit.
Yeah, Sal spoke at one of my events last year. So they've been really good dudes to me, and Andy, we don't always agree, but even when we don't, he's pretty straightforward about it. And I got a lot of respect on that. So,
they seem like good dudes.
Good. They
sent me some apparel and some supplements up and invited me down there because they're not far from us. St. Louis is 3 hours from where we're at. So I'm gonna have to go down here one weekend.
Well, so I'm in the cow business, and so one of my clients and friends, Steve McBee, he has like a TV show, the McBee Dynasty. It's pretty funny if you get a chance to watch it, but they're the largest landowners in Missouri. They have 48,000 acres in Missouri and 40,000 acres in Iowa. And so they raise a lot of cows and crops and stuff like that. And he is now the beef supply for those first 4 meat sticks.
Oh, yeah. Those are good as fuck, too.
Yeah, they are.
20 grams of protein, and they're good as shit.
Yep, they sure are. So that's where that comes from, is McBee's place. So
what is your biggest, like, social media, like how to run social media? What is your biggest advice for social media shit? That's how you started out, right? And one more thing is, when you were talking, I remember you kept saying stuff about like these funnels, and I had no idea. I was thinking like a beer funnel or something. Every time I remember going home and telling my wife, Mrs. Barbell, I'm like, we need to look into this funnel shit. This guy was talking about these funnels. I have no idea what it is, but I wrote it down. It was something about funnels.
Yeah, funnels are websites that extract leads, basically. So
what is that?
Websites that, you go to a website, you give them your name, email address, and phone number in exchange for something. That's a funnel, basically.
Okay.
So
funnel them to the product.
A website is like a billboard. A funnel is a way to actually extract information from the person that sees it. So
write that down.
Yeah.
Write it down again.
Come on.
I need that as well. So what kind of I don't know, what is your biggest advice to anybody, on social media today, how to market or whatever, how to sell, or, it's hard to just sell. I know from experience, like anytime I try to sell, especially on, let's say, Instagram stories, my God, they throttle you down like a motherfucker.
They do.
Right.
100%.
Every time, man. And I throttle me down anyway from everything. Just being a man, just being a fucking alpha male. I mean, that's it. Huck Finn, you're getting throttled down. Fuck you.
Yeah. And sometimes it's a bunch of shit that can get you throttled down, even though they say they're lifting those restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, guys like us that have a decent amount of following, it's very confusing to the algorithm too, because that's not normal. The normal person has 1,600, 2,000 followers,
right?
And it's easy to decide what that person wants. You have all these followers and follow all these people. It's hard to figure out what the hell who to serve out of that audience, right?
Yeah.
So especially in the fitness world, because they're following you, the OnlyFans chicks, the other fitness guys, and so they're trying to all compete for that space. If I'm just starting out in social media, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a consistent schedule. See, if you listen to radio, if you watch TV, you have regularly scheduled programming. Mm-hmm. So if you say you're going to post every day at 6 a.m., every day of the week, do that and just stick to it. And even if you suck, eventually doing it, you're going to get better at it. And eventually people are going to start to know you just through consistency alone. Most people, they'll start something, 90 days later, they won't be doing it anymore. And it ain't 90 days. It's 90 days before the gym results kick in. It's 90 days before your detox when you quit doing drugs or whatever. It's 90 days before you can finalize a divorce. It's 90 days before you can fucking all that shit, right? And so many people quit at 90 days. But if you can stay consistent for 6 months, you'll start building a following, right? You don't have to do hacks and come up with all this. Just be yourself. If people like you in real life, somebody's going to like you online too. And what's even crazy is if people don't like you in real life, there's fucking weirdos online that are going to love you, right? That's just there's an ass.
Be yourself is like the biggest thing I've always said. Just be yourself. Don't be anybody else. Be yourself. That's all I've ever been.
But you have to talk about your experiences. Like if you're trying to make money from social media, you can't say, hey, borrow money from me and pay interest. I can't hit you with some bullshit like that. I have to tell a story. Hey, Finn comes to me and tells me that he's got a big order coming up, but he's on a net 30 pay and he needs $300,000 to float him in the meantime. So I set him up with my banker, got him a low ass interest rate and allowed him to use this credit line for now. He'll have it paid off in 3 months and he'll have an additional $300,000 line of credit at his disposal. It feels good to help somebody. Now all of a sudden people are like, how the fuck do I get 300 grand?
Yeah.
Right. And at some point, though, once you start to build a following like you and I have, which has come from years of doing this shit, then you can morph into the cool guy and kind of show your lifestyle and the funny stuff that you do. In the beginning, you can't do that. In the beginning, you have to treat it like you're just dating someone that you hope to marry, but you just started dating them. You can't just expect them to think you're cool and shit. You got to let them know what you do, get to know you. Right. Then once you started building that community, honestly, right? I'm not here to shit anybody's, cereal, but I'm going to be honest. Honestly, after a couple of fucking years of doing that and running ads on top of that, then what happens is you build this community. Then you can swap to the look at my lifestyle, look how cool I am, and pictures of my kids and shit like that. But until then, you really have to take your business seriously. The way that we do it is, this has been the process since the dawn of time in marketing and advertising. It's called the M3 method. It's the media marketing method.
Write this down, Jacob.
Since the beginning of time, like the earliest advertisement was written on Egyptian proclamations where they would tell everybody, what was going on in the kingdom. And the last 20% was for them to say, hey, if you want to help us build the pyramids, we're recruiting people to get them there. That's literally the first known advertisement that's out there. If you watch TV, you get 10 minutes of TV, 3 minutes of commercials. If you listen to the radio, you get 10 minutes of music, 3 minutes of commercial. If you're using social media, you need to make, let's say you make a post today, 3-4 days in a row, you're talking about family, you're starting conversations, you're entertaining people. Then every third or fourth day, you mention something about your business. That's your commercial break, right? You're giving people entertainment, keeping them glued to you, and then occasionally you're taking a commercial break, right? You're out here and you're doing fucking strict press on a boat in the middle of the lake without a shirt on, drinking beer. That entertains the fuck out of people.
Time, yeah.
And then they go to look at your stories and you're like, hey, buy my pre-workout.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's like, let me entertain you. And then, and again, I'm not telling you guys watching this to go, even though it would be cool if you did, to go like get a boat and beer and do all that shit that Finn did. But
I got a boat right now, and once it snows more, I've got a hell of an idea where I'm jumping it with a fucking side-by-side.
Fuck yeah.
So that's coming soon.
I'm here for it.
Hell yeah. I just got sponsored by Real American Beer at Hulk Hogan Beer Company, so there's going to be a lot of fucking beer involved as well.
Sweet. Yeah. What kind of side-by-side you got?
I don't have a side-by-side. My neighbor does. I'm not that rich yet. Hopefully soon. He's the one going to be pulling me. And then another buddy of mine's going to be in the back, and he's got like a motocross track in his fucking front yard out here. So he's got all kinds of jumps, all kinds of shit. So it's going to be wild. I might die, but, it's going to be fucking one hell of a fucking video.
It'll be on video. Yeah.
Hell yeah. It's going to be on multiple cameras.
Yeah.
Fucking Ryan, did you follow Spice Adams at all? Kind of comedian on Instagram?
No, I need to check them out.
He was a Bears.
He's a Bears player. This guy's from Dallas, man.
He was a Bears player, but I used to train him. I trained him his last couple of years.
Bragger.
And really smart guy. He was getting his master's at Penn State, and he just decided, this is like 2000, maybe 12 or 13, and he's like, I want to do comedy on Instagram. And Instagram was starting to kind of take off around then, and all his teammates were like, dude, you're not even funny. And he's like, yeah, I'm funny. They're like, no, you're not funny. So around the gym, he would start filming videos. This is when he was still playing, like just really silly stuff. Everybody's like, dude, this is so stupid, so dumb. And like, just to your point, he just kept being himself.
Well, he's got a TV show and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, let me see where he's at now on his followers.
And he's a good dude, because I met him way before I even met you, Jacob. Probably back in 2012. I met him in the parking lot. And somebody thought I was a Bears player too, and I went along with it with him, right?
Yeah.
And people are taking pictures with me and him. I showed you that picture. He's a really good dude.
He's at 2 million followers.
Yeah.
No training, no anything, just consistently being himself. And he was terrible. He was so bad at first, but anyway,
but he got better.
To your point.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll tell you what.
And here's a big lesson for the people watching this. He said this guy's been working his ass off since 2012 to get to 2 million followers. So when you see these little fucking over the night Lamborghini people that got 1 million followers, it's complete bullshit. Mm-hmm. Like I've been doing this for the last 17 fucking years of my life. And I have 1 million followers combined on all of my platforms. And I've spent almost 8 figures on advertising on Facebook. And so I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of fakery that goes on out there, and you can see somebody that's been building that shit over time. You can actually go back and check you can watch them get better. You can be like, oh, this video is the first one that took off where he nailed a joke and got 1 million views, and people started coming to him.
Yeah. Well,
there's one thing I'd
say. Sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ross.
I was just gonna say for one of your next events when you need somebody to speak. After Finn turns you down because he's going to be too busy,
kind of a big,
drinking heavily. You should get Lou Aldang to speak.
Oh Jesus! Here we go, Lou Aldang.
Yeah, I'll just give you like 4 quick hits about him. NBA player, was born in South Sudan, refugee who fled war, lived without his parents in Egypt for 4 or 5 years, ended up going to Duke, becoming, if you look at the stats, he's one of the top 4 or 5 Bulls players of all time. Took over the national team in 2020. We had there's not an indoor court in the entire country. Everybody on our team is a refugee. The country didn't exist until 2011. He self-funded it for the first 2 years. And we went from last place in the world to one of the 12 teams that made the Olympics.
If you can't tell, this guy is Lou Aldang's
incredible story.
This is Lou Aldang's manager here.
Yeah, I've been working with Lou for since 2010. But I'm just saying, like, he's got an incredible story, and he needs to tell it more. So anyway,
it's Lou. What's his last name? Lou what?
It's Luol and then Deng.
Yeah, he was a really good Bull. I mean, his number should be retired too with Derrick Rose.
I think so, because again, if you look at the stats, 4. He's second, third, or fourth all time.
And then he went out to LA
and games and.
Tore his pec tendon off the bone like Huck Finn.
Yeah, so let me tell you this story. So he tore his pec tendon off the bone bench pressing,
which I've done twice now.
Finn's done both, and I got to rehab one. I got to rehab one of his. But
how does that happen? I've been, in the gym my entire adult life. I've seen that happen to people. Like, what causes that?
Well, the first time I did it, I was at a Mark Bell's gym there in California back in 15, I think. And coming out of the hole with like 575. And right when I came out of the hole, I kind of motorcycled a little bit. My hand went, and then my elbow came out a little bit. And I felt it felt like somebody just hit me right there, lightning, and pop, bam, pop. And I didn't really know at the time, because at that time I'd never been injured ever, really majorly injured. And Mark's the one that told me. He's like, yeah, that's might be a tendon, man. I'm like, oh, fuck, I have no idea what that is. I look it up, and it's like a year-long injury. Right back to the humerus. Well, it ties in right to the bicep tendon and the humerus bone. And I probably wasn't about 100% for about a year, I would say. 6 months I was back up there. My first one, because I was younger as well. I was like 32 or 31. And I came back from that pretty good, bench almost the same. Did it fuck up the shape
of your chest?
Yeah, it did. Instead of having that like nice swoop, it's got a little indent kind of right in the armpit area, like right there instead of a swoop. And then I did it again right when COVID hit. Like everybody was training in my shed. I had a shed. Right now I'm in a barn gym, which is big. And I had a little shed then, and everybody left because of COVID. It was like the first week of COVID. Like they just canceled the Arnold. All kinds of shit was nobody's going anywhere. Like nobody's even going to work. So I was out there and I don't know, repping out like 440 or something. I kept having my wife, she's in there making shirts in the garage, would walk, I don't know, like a football field away into the woods where my shed was and give me a spot, doing 7 sets of this. 7 sets of 3. Last set was a max set. And came out of the hole my last set after she was spotting me and she's grabbing a beer. I said, hey, just grab a beer for this video. I'm going to record the last set. She turns around and boom, my other side went. I knew fucking immediately it was. And then I was pissed because COVID, I didn't know if I'd get the surgery. Right. Because it might have been an elective surgery. But no, they sewed it back together in about a week. And yeah, that was 2020. And now I'm fresh off 2 pec tendons. But yeah, go ahead, Ross, what you're saying with Luol Deng tearing his pec.
No, I was going to say, so I trained Luol for 10 years of his career. And we take about a month apart every year only. And during that month, he's barbell bench pressing. And he's 6'9", like it's just so goofy to do it. And and he called me and he said it felt like somebody hit him with a shoe, like slapped him with a shoe. And I said, you might have tore it, buddy. Like I trained a lot of NFL guys back in the day, and like they would try to tackle somebody and it would go. Yeah. And so I kind of have heard those stories, like what Finn's talking about, where it feels like you got hit.
Mm-hmm. And I thought the spotter hit me the first time at what's his name's place. I said, what the fuck? You just touch me or something? No, what the fuck?
Right, and that's what Lou said. He said the same thing. And then I think he called me or something when I was with you or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was like, oh, this is my friend Finn who I'm rehabbing his pec. This is his second torn pec tendon. And he goes, why in the hell would you go back to barbell benching after you did one? He's like, I'm never touching a barbell bench. He's
got to be a fucking idiot.
He's got to be an idiot.
Yeah. Oh my God.
The issue is like for
bench pressing when you're that tall. If that guy's 6'8", like I always see, like you guys see them in your newsfeed and Instagram, especially the women are the worst, where they like arch their back all the way up off the bench, and then they're already like tiny chicks. So they're doing like little tiny bench press reps. But you get some guy that's 6'8", he's got a 7-foot wingspan. That's like 3 reps for us. You know what I mean?
Right.
So. Oh, shit. I always tell I'm friends with Steve Kuklo, always give him a hard time.
I know Steve real well. Steve's awesome, man.
I'm like, you're only strong because you have short arms, motherfucker. Right? Because his chest is so big, dude. Like bench press for him is like literally 8 inches. You know?
No, I drank beer with Steve. Steve's a good dude. I like Steve. I haven't seen him in a couple years. I think last time I saw him was actually at the Arnold. I know he's down in Dallas too.
Yeah.
You tell him Huck Finn said hi next time you see him, and he owes me a beer.
I will. I think he was at that event is where I met him, actually. So I met at that event that you talked about with Todd.
Yeah.
I met you. I met Mike O'Hearn. I met Tommy Vex. I met Steve Kuklo. I met Rachel Shearer. There was some, and Big Boy was
I know
there.
Rachel too.
There
Yeah,
was,
Big Boy.
and remember Dr. Sam? He was cool as shit too. He passed away during COVID. But Sam Bakhtiar, do you remember him?
No,
dude,
I don't
this
think
motherfucker was a legend, man.
He spoke there that day.
No, he was one. He was just in the room with you
in
guys.
The room?
He was an
I don't think I
Icon
met
meal
him.
promoter. He had a ponytail. He looked like a Hispanic dude with a ponytail, but he was Persian. But
no, I don't think I do know him. No,
dude. One time I'm working out with O'Hearn, and we're over there at Gold's Gym by O'Hearn's house, right? So it's like me and Todd and O'Hearn and Cheplack.
Oh yeah, like at Venice Beach there.
Yeah,
the original,
over there at the Gold's, yeah. And so when we're done working out or whatever, and there's a bunch of like athletes and stuff. I don't know. I'm not a big sports guy, but they know, they're all talking. Yeah. We walk out front, and I know Sam because we were in a business mastermind together. He's sitting out there on this Rolls Royce, and he's got Big Boy next to him and 2 or 3 of these other dudes. And it's like a fucking rap video in the middle of LA during, it's like 6:37 in the morning, but the sun's up. And he's just sitting on the hood, and they're out there shooting content and talking shit. And I was like, this motherfucker's a gangster, man.
That's awesome.
But I met him there at that event. But something happened to him during COVID. He didn't get like vaxxed or anything. Maybe they couldn't get the care to him that they needed to get to him or whatever. And just randomly fell out. Man, he was a good dude. Yeah. That was a powerful room. There were some good people in that
Huck
room.
Finn is probably the most powerful, I would say, if I was gonna say the most powerful man in that room.
If we were measuring aquatic fitness reps.
You're right. Or who the biggest hillbilly in that room was? Definitely Huck Finn, 100%. Only person to bring a case of beer into the room at 9 a.m. But I said,
brand, though.
Love Todd and talk to him fucking every other week or something. Still with Icon Meals. Went to the Icon Meals headquarters. Those guys were great. They got me a tour over there with the Cowboys afterwards. Got nothing but good things. Todd is awesome. One of the that's by far my longest sponsorship of my life was Icon Meals. I got nothing but good things to say about those guys. Love them.
The star over there is pretty cool, huh?
Dude, where they took me on a private tour. Yeah. And again, Huck Finn's dressed like how I dress in the summer, cut off t-shirt, says fuck communism on it, and some fucking cut off shorts on, and you go into that fucking star to the tour, it's like everybody's dressed up nice, and they got the fucking nice chandeliers. There's like a million chandeliers hanging off the fucking ceiling and shit. But I had a great time. Awesome time.
I don't watch sports, but I'm a member of Jerry Jones has a little private hidden club in that compound over there. I'm one of the founding members. I've been there for 6 or 7 years or whatever. There's some cool secret shit that the public doesn't know about, that if you're like somebody about the city or whatever, you can get into back there. It's pretty fun, man.
I'm gonna have to go in that place, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to follow your alcohol rules though if I go.
And you got a dress. There is a dress code.
Oh,
I had two really pretty fitness influencer chicks that were meeting me wanting to build some fitness stuff. So I had them meet me there at the Cowboy Club, and they were wearing yoga pants. They would not let them in. They were like, "Nah, you're gonna have to go back and put like professional clothes on." So
bust out my Stetson cowboy hat. I'll be all
right.
Like,
one of them was like, "I have 500,000 followers on social media." She goes, "I don't give a fuck. We own the Dallas Cowboys."
Yeah, tell somebody who gives a fuck.
We own the Dallas Cowboys.
Now, we're gonna get out of here pretty soon. What are your books, and where can people find these books at?
They're on Amazon. And I have written a lot of books. I've been writing a book a year for almost a decade now. I just finished my latest one last December. So like literally a couple of weeks ago. It's called How to Make Money from Everything. We didn't really get into a whole lot of what I do, but I am a master at putting shit together. So like, for example, when I bought my ranch, I'll give you a breakdown of how I think, right? So, and I've been in real estate and finance my whole career, so I'm super creative with it. This ranch is for sale for $3 million, right? And there's no way he's gonna fucking sell it to somebody in Oklahoma for that. So these kind of ranches this big sit on the market for years because there's not a lot of desire or people moving to the country, right? It's not a big market for it like Frisco, Texas. So this property been on the market for a while. I approached the rancher and said, listen, man, I'm not going to give you $3 million, but I give you 2.5 and I'll give it to you in payments, right? So you're going to own or finance it for me, but I'll give you $500,000 down cash. And then I'll pay you 20 grand a month, but it's 0% interest. So every month I'm paying off that bill. At the end of 2 years, I'll either pay it off or refinance it out of you. And he's like, okay, cool. You know, I don't want to do that 0%. I'll finance it to you at 6%. And I was like, look, if I had to pay 6%, then I'll give you $2 million for the property. But you're going to eat it one way or another. So if it makes you feel better to say 6%, cool. You're going to still eat it, and you're actually going to lose doing that in the long run versus taking it at 0. Because I'll draw the whole 2 years or 30 months before I pay it off. So we come to an agreement. I buy this ranch. Now, I grew up around a horse farm, so I know kind of how buying and selling horses works, but I don't know shit about a farm, right? So now I got to figure this out 3 years ago. So since then, I figured out how to make money from cows. I discovered that we had 1,100 pecan trees out there. So I called all these places around town to see if anybody buys pecans. Turns out there's a place that'll come out and rake them off the ground for you. They gave me a check for 12 grand, right? We baled $300,000 worth of hay last year. God, right. So
a lot of hay.
So this book is like how I put deals together, how I built the software company, how I built the real estate portfolio. It's called How to Make Money from Everything. And if you are someone that's like maybe trying to work on your personal development or whatever, I've got another book called G Code. Those are the two that I recommend for your audience. You can get those on Amazon. They're $5-10. So they're not like super expensive books. Try to make them entertaining, but again, if you're somebody sitting around trying to figure out how you can make more money in 2025, how to make money from everything, give you some good blueprints.
What was the force of average or something you always talk about, right? Is that it? Force of average?
The G Code, the force of average concept is in that G Code book. So, dude, we have people with that tattooed on them, and like hundreds of people. Like, no incentivized, no monetary shit. Just people that it's changed their life so much they got tattooed on their fucking neck, their hands. Right. You know, so it's crazy.
That's good. Yeah, good shit, man.
It's just crazy to think some dude that's been to prison twice and endured all of the weird shit and funny stuff that we were laughing about earlier is literally went on to change a whole bunch of people's lives and help people
kicking ass,
billions of dollars of exits and shit. Who the fuck would ever figure? You know?
It's a great story, man. That's why, when you said you come, fuck yeah, man. This guy's got a hell of a story. I was telling Tom, hell, when I came back from that thing in Texas, right? The only thing I knew was, a couple guys I met, that were speaking, and I told Callis, hey, you got to follow this guy, man.
Yep.
Right, Callis? And Callis has been following you ever since, too, because I told him when I got back, follow this guy. He knows his shit, man. This guy's like us, and he's a wild man, and he's fucking kicking ass and everything. So,
I got to get you guys out to the ranch, man. We have I have kill passes on a lot of things that you normally don't have seasons on because I'm the the owner of the property. So we kill these endangered vultures because they fucking kill my calves. And so, typically I'm not a hunter of
like coyotes. Species, you got fucking wild boar down there and shit.
Dude, we can go down there and shoot hogs all night, bro. Yeah, right. Like I have game cameras. So I have ranch hands that run it during the week for me, but we have game cams set out all across there. A, in case somebody from the internet just figures out where it's at and decides they want to go out there, and B, I like to see all the wildlife that goes through there, bro. Yeah. There's massive. There's a coyote right fucking there.
How many acres is it?
Literally right fucking there. There's a coyote just ran out my fucking window.
Love it, dude. That's probably out my window. Not too.
I'm not at the ranch today. That was the fucking city.
That might have been a dog. That might have been a dog.
Definitely a coyote. 100%.
That might have been a Doberman.
It's funny because earlier tonight the news said, "Be careful, coyotes are doing XYZ because of the cold weather here because it's not normally cold here." So that's fucking hilarious. Anyway,
what did you say? How many acres you got over there?
800.
Holy, 800 acres.
So
I'm on 10 acres, and I feel like I'm in like the fucking biggest place ever. 800 acres.
Yeah. Yeah, if we hop on four-wheelers and start touring it, it's going to be 2 hours before you can see the whole place.
That's fucking awesome.
And so when I bought this place, it didn't have roads. So after I bought it, I started managing the hay stuff on it. We built rock roads through it. I built bridges over the creek and the rivers that run through it. So, and I built a system to where all the lakes flow into each other, stocked all the lakes with fish. So this place like a grown man's Chuck E. Cheese. We got one of the, there's 12 lakes on the property. The smallest one's 3 acres, biggest one's 32 acres, right? So like big ass fucking lakes. And there's one that's about 7 acres. We call it Party Lake, and it's got a peninsula, so it's surrounded by water on all
That's
three
where I'll
sides.
be sleeping.
And so we built a bar on it. So we built a bar with lights. And
that's my first and last stop right there, Party Lake.
So we have big bonfire pit that we built out there, peninsula. So during the day, all the kids, they stop by, pick up snacks, drinks, the adults as they're going to do, because I got so many 4-wheelers, everybody's off doing whatever the fuck they want to do, you know?
Man, I should have stopped there on the way down. Fuck, I don't remember where I stopped at.
Well, you have to come back. And like I said, man, your kids are welcome too, dude.
Well, I got a lot of relatives in Texas, so I'm down there a lot. A lot of in that area, Frisco, Tyler, Garland, Dallas, fucking Sulphur Springs. All kinds of towns down there, man. A lot of Finns are down there. So I'm down there usually, well, not in a while, I guess. The last couple of years, not too long, but I've probably been down there 70 times in my life. I love it.
Just give me the heads up, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's only an hour and a half drive from here. So
well, and shit, I'd be coming that way anyway. You know, I'd be coming from up north from Illinois. Yeah. So no, thanks for coming. Tom, do you have any, like, you're the business guy here. Do you have any other business questions to ask this guy or anything else?
No, I think we need to have him on again. I think there's plenty more of Ryan that we need to hear, that people need to hear. We're taking up, 2 hours of your time is probably very hard to get. So I'm happy you're able to come on. We tried to schedule this, I think, a year ago, and it was like, I can come out at 1 p.m., bro. I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm at work. So I'm glad you're able to like kind of sneak us in at the end of your day. No, so we really appreciate it, man.
Yeah. 100%, brother. Man. And anytime you want to come down, I can have you. Like I said, I got more than enough room here. I would gladly have you down anytime. We're both about an hour. What would you say? About an hour and a half southwest. I'm about southwest of Chicago. They're just
about
west.
An hour west, yeah.
So how far are you from like the Missouri? Are you in Missouri or are you in Illinois?
No, Illinois. I'd be about from St. Louis is about what, 2.5? No, about 3 hours.
Yeah, we're outside Chicago.
Yeah, we're closer to Chicago.
The reason why I asked was I've got to get out to my friend McBee's farm before long, so I was wondering how far you would be from that part of the state. So anyway,
I would imagine at least 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah,
but if you're down there, let me know, because
nothing in Texas.
That's true. Yeah, it's just like going across, to the next town. To Pig's Knuckle, Texas.
So yeah,
great.
But if you go down there, let me know, because I'd planned on going down to First Form at some point in the next couple months. So
yeah, the Priscilla guys have always been good to me. They're good people. I'm excited for them bringing the MF CEO podcast back. I learned a lot from Andy. So
yeah, I listen to that all the time.
Yeah, their CT action's hilarious,
and that's very good too. Yeah, I listen to both. He's very good, very funny.
Yeah, I stopped watching the news about 2 years ago, and I get my news from Patrick Bet-David and Andy Frisella. If it ain't coming out of those guys' mouths, I really don't give a fuck what's going on. Right?
That's true. Same here. I get all my news from like podcasts or Twitter.
That's why we're winning, bro. Mm-hmm. Like when I say we, I don't mean a certain political party or white people or what. I mean, like, society's fucking winning again, because for forever we had only one channel for people to be heard, and they were teaching us what they want us to.
Now it's everywhere.
Now, if you got something to say, and if you're good, a lot of people will listen to you, maybe research what you're saying. So it's
mainstream's done, dude. I mean, the fucking cable TV is going to be gone soon. There's going to be no such thing. It's all going to be streaming shit.
Yeah.
Patrick
Bet-David is the #1 news source on YouTube. He gets more viewership than Fox News and MSNBC at this point.
Yeah.
And you know why? Because you know what? He'll reach across the aisle and say, I don't care how you vote, what your religion is.
So it should be.
Just have a conversation. And he's a big enough guy to where people don't yell at him, because he brings them in face to face. I know Patrick personally. You're not going to yell at that guy. He's a big dude. So it allows people to have respectable, calm conversations, which is really what we want to listen to from the other side. Like, why do you think this way? Of the other side of any belief, whether it's religion, political, whatever.
So it should be.
Yep.
100%.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you having me on. And if you want to do this again in the future at some point, man, I'd be down for it. I had a good time, especially getting to know you guys. So
Yeah, appreciate it, brother. We'll see you down the road, my friend.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye. Stewman's gone. Man, that was great.
Solid,
tons
dude.
of info.
Let's end this so I can start uploading, all right?
Yeah, I'll get you the thumbnail.
Yeah, send me that a thumbnail. Brought to you by pioneerfit.com. Thanks for the new Mike's mat.
Yeah.
These things are fucking great. Go there for all your belts, hats, straps. Support him. He's always supported us. I tell everybody, got some new people coming in the gym looking for belts. I'm like, Pioneer, only place to go. So send people his way. Looking for a belt for spring training, which is coming up. We have kids now already starting softball, baseball. Surprise them with a badass custom belt from Pioneer Fit. Check out Be Better Official. Check out the gym. Check out Cal's Barbell Apparel is coming back as of today. Getting my printing done finally. Getting it done again in the new year. Took about a 7-month hiatus with building the gym with Jacob. Now we're back at it. A little bit cleaner way to order and more hands off for me. So still cool apparel. Check that out. Link in my bio and my Instagram to pre-order the shirt. Once the shirts are gone, they will not be back. One-time pre-order. That's it. Check out HFBS supplements. Plenty of Loco Jizz everywhere. Right, Finn? Still plenty?
Yeah. We actually got a couple orders to some gyms and stuff out.
Awesome.
One out to Iowa, which is great. It's closer, so I can go visit it. I'm thinking about. I'm probably going to be out in Omaha, January 31st or something. Going out to that Certified Piedmontese, and I'm going to make a couple stops on my way out there. And the new shirt's coming out. The American shirt drops on January 20th. The deportation tee, all the blanks were restocked, so that's great. We sold a lot of those, and they're restocked. What else is going on? I forget. Why am I blanking out? T-shirts.
Did a 2-hour podcast.
I know it, dude. That was way longer. I thought we were going to be done after about an hour and 10. And I was trying to hold my piss the whole time. By an hour and 25, he's telling that story. I'm about to piss my pants. I had to go.
I sweat my dick off. I'm like, I'll turn the heater off. I don't want to get up and miss this.
Yeah, I know. He kept talking. I'm like, he's going to end it soon. He's going to end it. No, I'm going to piss my pants. I got to fucking get out of here.
Yeah. No, great guest. Good setup.
Yeah, no. And like I told him, when I saw that guy in person, this guy, he made all this money, and he's like, he just felt like a guy like we would hang out with, or he just talked to me like perfectly. The way he talked, the way he acted, everything was, the other guys were just too much, I don't know, maybe like too good for you or something. This guy is like just down to earth. Just the way he talked on the podcast, you can just tell the guy's a good dude. So
yeah,
good dude, very smart, and he knows his shit. So
yeah, looks like it. So
wait, hey, listen, we've 2 weeks in a row, dude. Guess. Wait till you see what I got lined up for next week. I haven't even told you yet.
Jacob Ross.
Cowboy Cam.
Cowboy Cam. Wow. Big boss fan.
We'll see you guys later.
Shut up, Karen.
Okay, bye.